Beats Planet.
Yo, want some chicken to go? What's crackin', y'all? Voch Lombardi. Holding it down for the Doski Woski. The Peasky Whiskey is free. It costs you nothing. I hand it out at the door. What's good, y'all? So, I was taking a walk the other day, and I was real heavy in my draft bag. And I know that when I get really heavy in my draft bag, I sometimes neglect my people. Now, when it's in the regular season, my ass get ungrateful, and I just, talk to y'all all day because we just got time. But boy, when I'm trying to cram, 300 players in my little Rolodex here, I forget to communicate with y'all. My bad. So I'm taking a little time out of my day, because I promise after this I'm going to go lay down and go to sleep somewhere. I'm taking a little time out of my day to say what's up to y'all, and to let y'all rock. So let me just kind of set the table for a little bit. Let me lay out the napkins and the cutlery. Just put everything out here just to kind of prep y'all for what we're doing here. I'm going to have the phone lines ready, okay? By the time we get this thing started, the phone lines will be ready. It's on the screen. Cool. Good to go. 515-739-1285. The access code is 309104. Cool. This is what we're talking about tonight if you so happen to want to communicate with me tonight. I feel like every year right around this time, I give you all the opportunity to call me out on my bullshit, right? Boy, I know it's a lot of people that disagree with what I have to say. It's a lot of people that some people call me arrogant because of how I talk to y'all in these arguments or whatever. It ain't arrogance. I just believe in what I say. So what I do every now and then is I set the phone lines up for you, and I just put it out there. If there's any discrepancy here, if there's any conversation that y'all feel like needs to be had, you call into this show and you let me have it. And we'll probably end up fussing for a smooth 5 minutes. I might get loud and turn it to a soundbite later. However, at least we'll have the conversation about it. Okay? So a couple of things that I'm going to set the table with, right? For y'all to kind of fuss at me about. We can take this Dallas Cowboys. We can take this draft in general, okay? I'm ready to talk whatever kind of draft stuff y'all want to talk about. I know a lot of people want to talk draft with me, and I like to put y'all on hold simply because I don't like to give y'all information that I don't believe in. You know what I mean? I'm not one of these talking heads that put out content because I got some boss that's forcing me to put out content. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, Stephen A. Smith. Boy, he said the Panthers should go pay Le'Veon Bell. They got Christian McCaffrey. He's not thinking. But I don't like to really talk about things unless I have a good idea of what I'm talking about, right? I can't have y'all listening to me taking me seriously and I'm spitting, bullshit to y'all, right? So I'm ready to talk draft with y'all now, right? So, and I've been trying to set the table for a minute. I apologize. So I dropped my offensive line rankings about 6 days ago, right? If you disagree, call in. I dropped my D-line rankings a couple days ago. Before that, my defensive tackle rankings, okay? If you disagree, you can call in. What else is like hot in the streets? Like I'm hating real hard on Cowboys fans that ain't trying to pay no damn body. Like Dak Prescott is my quarterback. 10,000%, right? So if you feel like Voch is full of shit for his argument that Dak shouldn't be the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys and he shouldn't be paid $27, $28, $29 million, then we can have this conversation. Talk to me so we can get this energy out, right? What else do I feel like that y'all can fuss at me about? DeMarcus Lawrence should be paid. Cooper, Zeke, all those guys should be paid. I don't think Jeff Heath is a bad player. I don't mind adding Earl Thomas, but I ain't trying to pay $10 million for him. If I ain't paying my guys, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to make him the highest paid safety in the league if my guys ain't straight. I want my guys to be straight. Okay? Some of y'all goof ass out here talking about paying a 30-year-old before you pay the 26-year-old. That ain't how this works. Let me fuss at y'all for a minute. I remember once upon a time, all the hell we did was spend money on free agents. Oh, and it was the wrong ones too. Oh, we were the shining example of what not to do in free agency. Whether we're trading 2 first-round picks to get guys, whether we're putting big money that we don't have, hitting buttons on other people's contracts just to pay for outside people. You know what I'm saying? And I remember Cowboys fans saying, man, bro, like, shit, why can't we draft? Why don't we just draft some of these people? We should draft a little better, right? Why aren't we drafting better? And boy, oh boy, we finally draft well, and now we don't want to pay those guys. All right. If there's any discrepancy about any of those topics, please call into my show. 515-739-1285. My access code is 309104. And look, you ain't even got to have a discrepancy. If you just want to call in and say what's up. If you want to call in and take my side about something, we can run that too. We can run that for the cardio as well. You want to call in and hate on Stephen A. Smith? Let's hate on him. I'm tired of his blunders. I've been humble enough. Anyway, what else was I setting the table with? I was saying. Oh, we were going to talk about compensatory picks. Boy, I've been seeing a lot of up and down about these compensatory picks. So people have been asking me all day, and I promise y'all, I be watching film and I just be zoning out of my little Twitter. I may drop something on Twitter, but I don't really be focused. People be asking me, yo, Voch, how is it that the Rams got 2 third-round compensatory picks and the Cowboys got a 4th? Well, it's not necessarily about the player that you let go, but it's about the money they make on the back end, right? Like, there's no real metric about how good a player is. Unless, they don't go good on how they think a player is because it's too much subjectivity, I guess I would say, right? So they go based on how much people get paid. So, we'll let go of Anthony Hitchens and he'll get paid something, boom, boom, boom. The Rams' two third-round picks came from, I believe, Tremaine Johnson and Sammy Watkins, right? Sammy Watkins made like 48 mil, something ridiculous like that, 58 mil, something crazy. And Tremaine Johnson made a ridiculous like 72 and mad $1 million from the Jets or something like that, I believe. So that's where those compensatory picks come from. Tremaine and Sammy Watkins. And we let go of Anthony Hitchens. And to be fair, we like Anthony Hitchens. We like Anthony Hitchens as if he was, one of the, top tier cats on our team. But I don't think Anthony Hitchens got paid like that. He got paid more than we was willing to pay him, but I don't think Anthony Hitchens got paid more than Tremaine Johnson's $72 million ass and Sammy Watkins. So that's where those picks came from. So the Cowboys have a 4th round pick in all this. I think it's the 136th pick. Okay, a couple things here. And this ain't just Cowboys talk. Like if you any team you want to call in and talk about your goof ass comp picks that's higher than ours, you can feel free to call in 515-739-1285. It's on the screen. It's in the description. Cool. So we're picking at the back of every round anyway. But how this year's draft is set up is there are only 2 elite guys in my opinion, right? It's Quentin Williams and it's Nick Bosa in that order. Now Nick may go first because he's an edge guy. Cool, whatever. But they're the 2 elite guys. Then there's a couple good to great guys, right? But from pick, I would say 18 to 75, it's about a scramble. I would say it's a scramble, and there's no clear guy better than the other guy. It just depends on the team, depends on the preference, what you're looking for. My homie Lieutenant Dan has this thing called SARF, you know what I mean? And that's where the rest of this stuff is going to come from, right? So if I'm in the 2nd round at my 58 pick and I get a guy like Gerald Willis, but whatever team at 21 they drafted Ja'Kai Polite. Pardon me, everybody may not be draft savvy. So Gerald Willis, defensive tackle from Miami. If we ended up getting him opposed to whoever the hell pick at 22, if they got Ja'Kai Polite, the edge player from Florida, I don't feel that much different about those two players. Uncle Alexander in the building. What's up, Voch? That's my shout out to you, my brother. I'm not your brother. I'm your nephew because you like my uncle. Salute to you, boss. So what was I saying? I was talking about, the draft, right? So it's so heavy. It's so heavy in the middle of the draft that you ain't really got to go put premiums on those first guys, right? Because it's only really a handful of first-round picks. Everybody else is getting second-rounders, right? So people talking about, will the Cowboys trade up now? Can we bundle some picks together, take that fourth, and move up to the back of the first? Hell no, because the guys you can get at the end of the second or even in the middle of the second, the guys you can get there are damn near just as good as the guys that you can get at the end of the first. Now, this ain't me saying I wish I don't have a damn first-round pick. That ain't the case. If I had one, I'll take it. But we spent our first-round pick on that silent assassin, Amari Cooper, that can catch a 70-damn-yard touchdown and not celebrate, right? That's who we put our first-round pick on. I'm not saying I don't want a first-round pick, but I'm saying I would rather keep all my picks because the second, third, fourth, and fifth rounds of this draft are nasty. So when you hear these ignorant-ass Cowboy fans, I'm sorry, Voch, what was that? These ignorant-ass Cowboys fans, what word is that? Ignorant-ass Cowboys fans, don't let them tell you that pick 136, that is not a worthy pick. That it's way too late in the draft. That it just ain't no good. Don't let nobody tell you that, because not only does this team draft well, right? Like, we have a reputation of hitting on fourth, fifths, and sixth guys, right? Not only does this team draft well, but there are a lot of players in this draft that fit well at the 136 position, right? Also, this. Let's talk about the actual players in this draft. I'm getting busy. I ain't took a sip of water yet. I'm getting busy. Let's talk about the positions in this draft that are deeper than others, and let's talk about how they fit with the Cowboys in general, right? Like, what are we looking for, Cowboys fans? What are we looking for? Voch Lombardi says we're looking for offensive line help. If you disagree, you know what you can do, fam. I think we're looking for offensive line help. That's probably my first priority. Why you say that, Voch? I'll explain it to you. Our defense was top tier with the guys that we have currently, and we ain't losing no damn body. If we losing anybody, we're losing depth guys at D-line. Everybody's so quick to push Antoine Woods off the bridge. They're so quick to push Malik off the bridge. They're so quick to want to get rid of these guys, but this defense was top tier with those guys. My offensive line gave up 58 sacks this year. 58 sacks this year. You know what I'm saying? And everybody wants to talk about, well, the offensive line was in shambles. There were some things going on. Sure, they were quasi in shambles, but this is what I want you to look at. I want you to look at the guys that are going to be on this line next year. I want you to look at the guys that were on the line last year, and I want you to think about how they played in general, right? I'm going to give Connor a pass because I think Connor played better than people gave him credit for, right? But I'm trying to push Lael Collins smooth off a bridge, and he's coming back. Right? When you think about the guy that wasn't here, you think about Travis Frederick. Travis wasn't here. But Joe Looney really wasn't kicking your ass last year, right? Joe Looney wasn't in fact Travis. Joe Looney did well, though, but he wasn't Travis. So Joe Looney will be better. I mean, the center position will be better, right? But I'm not so sold on Travis just yet because he was sick without warning, right? I'm of the notion that he could get sick again without warning, right? I hope he's healthy, but at the end of the day, we got to cover our ass. Like, if I'm a GM, I got to cover my ass, right? For whatever reason, Lael Collins ain't playing guard. Thousands of people ask me, yo, Voch, why ain't Lael Collins playing guard? I don't know. It's one of two things. The coaches don't feel like he can play guard, or Lael just flat out don't want to play guard. If that's the case, I got to evaluate you as a tackle. then I'm making you compete with Connor Williams, because I think Connor Williams would be a better tackle. He fits the mold of tackle. And I got to screaming on somebody. Logan's on the phone. Hang tight. I got to screaming at some people on Reddit that felt like the offensive line was fine. We just waiting on guys to come back. Man, we are one Tyron Smith typical injury, normal Tyron Smith injury away from going, oh hell no. We are a Zach Martin setback from starting the Redmond kid, or me getting sick of Lael Collins, or Travis Frederick coughing too heavy one day from having change on his offensive line. If Dak Prescott's gonna be your quarterback, the two things you want to do to make him better as a quarterback is to upgrade his protection, upgrade his weapons. That's what I'm trying to do in this draft. If Dak Prescott's going to be your quarterback, upgrade those guys. If you're going to pay your running back, a position that people really ain't trying to be paying, but if you want to pay your running back, if you want to pay Ezekiel Elliott to be on this team, it's two things you want to do to help Ezekiel Elliott. You want to fix his offensive line. You want to make his quarterback better. And I just told you how to make the quarterback better. The damn defense was top tier last year. My offense was trash, and we still won a playoff game, and we only lost to the Rams by one possession. Fix my offense, man. I know y'all want to get a big, heavy, nasty 10,000 pound, and I ain't making fun of Mark Holmes because I just left his show. Fuck it. I'm making fun of Mark Holmes. But it's a lot of other people that think that way, that they want a big, heavy defensive tackle to be in the middle of the D line or whatever, right? And I ain't taking a shot at Mark Holmes because I talk shit on his show. I've done it before. Go check the show last week. But it's a couple things I gotta say about that. I think the guys that you have on D-line are fine right now. You could probably add a little depth and be cool. So when Antoine comes off the field, it ain't Karan Reed going in there. Okay. Another thing, like I just said earlier, right? Like, we were fine at D-line. We were fine all year. If anything, you just kind of want to not reset everything, man. Just kind of add some complimentary guys, right? Third thing is, it's a lot of DTs in this draft class, right? You can find a starting defensive tackle in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th round. I can't say the same about offensive line. When offensive linemen, when they gone, they gone. D-linemen going to be here all day to play. Even when you get past 15 guys, when 15 guys get drafted, you still got guys like Greg Gaines, Dalen Mack, Kalen Saunders. You still got plenty of guys. Okay? So let's not just rush to go get a D-lineman. Also, another thing, right? Big nasty D-line, big fat husky trash can full of dirt D-linemen don't really exist no more. Everybody's leaning towards athleticism. Those guys don't exist anymore because the National Football League is leaning more towards zone running. You know what I mean? We don't just gap run no more. I mean, we kind of can, but we don't really. We zone run, right? If you're a big fat nasty kid, big heavy trash can full of dirt guy in a gap scheme, then sure, you could probably cause some problems, but if you're a fat kid on the other side running zone, you got to run and chase people. You got to run and go chase people. How the hell I have 2 callers and y'all going to hang up? I told y'all, hold on. Now they think I'm ducking the smoke. Both of y'all called back in. I was just about to get to y'all until I got my point out. Damn it. Logan and whoever the hell this other caller was that called in, call back so I can hear what y'all got to say. Damn. So anyway, we're talking about the Cowboys and the position of need. O-line, D-line, tight end. I'm thinking second running back, somebody that can play running back, slide receiver, kick return, punt return. One of those guys like that, right? And free safety, right? You asking me who we should get with the first 2 picks? Without a doubt, offensive line and free safety, because those are the 2 positions that I feel like are going to run out the quickest. All right? I ain't necessarily dying for a tight end. Hold on, let me hurry up and get to the phone before they hang up on me. Wait a minute, let me get to the phone. Both of them going to call back. 614, what's happening? Who this?
What's up? This is David Wright in Columbus, Ohio.
What up, Dave? You ain't had to hang up the phone the first time. I was going to get back to you, my man. I was on a roll. But what's up, my guy? What you got for the show?
Yes, sir. I follow the Atlanta Falcons and Lieutenant Dan on Intentional Underground. I caught you the other night.
Salute.
And, man, I think Cameron Brate, the tight end of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, would be a good fit for your squad, man.
Sure. It just depends, man. I hope he ain't trying to take too much bread out of our pocket, because we got a lot of guys that we gotta pay already. Thing about tight ends, man, is they really don't show up year one. Tight ends year 2, year 3, that's when they really start to making noise. And all our tight ends were basically year 1 guys. Jarwin and Dalton Schultz, Rico been playing power forward his whole life, and Jeff Swain got hurt. So I do think next year those guys will be better. I'm not necessarily trying to push somebody off a bridge to go get a tight end. However, I do like Cameron Brate. He big as hell. He's nasty in the seams, and he's dangerous in the back of the end zone. I do like him. You're right.
Right, and what do you think about my Atlanta Falcons? I like Christian Wilkins in the first round, and that Charles Boomway of Texas in the second round. And then we can get old linemen. We got 5 picks in 3 rounds, the third, fourth, and fifth round. We can get linemen. What do you think about that?
You know what's funny about Atlanta Falcons fans, dog, and I'm kind of on y'all team about this. Y'all don't like to see Oliver mock to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Every mock draft I see Oliver mock to Atlanta Falcons hating it. And to be fair, I do think there are plenty of defensive tackles better than Oliver. You know what I'm saying? So I totally agree. Now, if I'm a team that needs a 3-tech, I'm trying to do something, and this ain't Cowboy talk here. I'm trying to do something non-3-tech related in the first round, and I'm trying to sneak and get Jeffrey Simmons early in the second. If I'm conniving enough, and if I got picks like you say you got picks, I'm trying to move up and pull that move off. The Cowboys ain't got the equity to do it. But if I'm the Falcons, I would do something ridiculous like that and get a goddamn trophy at the end of the day.
Yeah, we got 2 fourths and 2 fifths. So hopefully we can do something with that. And last thing, man, y'all got to sign Dexter Lawrence. Y'all got to pay that man.
DeMarcus Lawrence. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally
Y'all got to pay him, man. He's going to be the top defensive line free agent, and everybody going after him. But your boss man got the funds to get him.
Sure. They'll get it done. It's just Cowboys fans that make me angry. They just flat out piss me off when they want guys. Because I remember Cowboys fans, we craved a cornerback that we traded up to go get Claiborne, and we're like, man, I wish we had a cornerback. Then Byron Jones started to play cornerback well. They want to get rid of him. I remember this team was lacking pass rush. George Selvey and Jeremy Mincy were saviors to us. Damn, Igor Olshansky was saviors to us. We finally get a damn edge rusher that got more sacks than damn Khalil Mack in the last 3 years. I said that shit. He got more sacks than Khalil Mack in the last 3 years, and we've seen him develop into a run stopper, and he's a leader. And when you play teams like the New Orleans Saints, he don't punk out from none of them. But they don't want to pay this guy. He's 26 years old. Khalil just turned 28 today. Pay my guy, please. You damn right,
Exactly.
David. You damn right.
You gotta have those role players, those backups in the rotation. And George Selvey was nice. I remember when he played at South Florida. Obviously, Jason Pierre-Paul, they were bookends.
Sure. George Selvey is nice. But boy, DeMarcus Lawrence is nasty. Boy, I like DeMarcus Lawrence way more.
I wanted us to get him, but we went another direction. So, and I don't think we should give up on Vic Beasley either, man. If we get Christian Wilkins, Grady Jarrett going to the Pro Bowl, and it's going to make our DMs better.
I agree. I'm with you. Totally agree.
All right, man. Thanks for talking.
Yes, sir. Great call. Appreciate it, Dave. You are platinum now. I just plugged you in. Next time you call, you won't have to wait so long. Salute. Yes, indeed. Pardon me, y'all. I get a little spicy on these phones. I wasn't even screaming at my man, David. I get a little loud sometimes. Logan, what's good, man? You ain't had to hang up the phone, Logan. I was gonna get there, man. I gotta say my stuff. I gotta spit my. You know what I'm saying? We had to hang up, man. What up, man?
I didn't hang up because of you. I hung up because I had to talk to my parents.
Oh, man. Well, do your damn homework, man. Get off YouTube and do your homework, man. Damn. But my bad, dog. Go ahead, bro. What you got for the show?
So the first question that I asked, I don't know how the compensatory picks work. Can you explain that? Because I don't think a lot of people know how that works.
The key word in compensatory is compensate. I could be wrong. Somebody way smarter than me could let me know. So that's the league's way of saying if you get rid of a great player and you just don't pay him, we're gonna compensate you with a draft pick. Right? That's why the Patriots get so many of them because they let guys go. So it doesn't go by the how good the player is. It go by how much money that they make on that next season on that next team. So we feel highly about Anthony Hitchens, but in reality, he got paid in a certain bracket when he went to Kansas City. But when you look at Sammy Watkins, the wide receiver money he's making, I think he's a top 3 paid receiver now. If you look at Tremaine Johnson, the $72 million he's making in New York, he's in the top bracket of cornerbacks now. You know what I mean? So if they're looking at, okay, Tremaine is here at cornerback, and if Sammy is here at receiver, then we're going to give the Rams two of the highest compensatory picks you can get, and that's third round picks. And we gave up Anthony Hitchens. Anthony Hitchens isn't in the top 1, 2, 3 percentile. He may be like the 6. I don't know wherever the hell he's at. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I'm winging it. But Anthony Hitchens, what he got paid in Kansas City equals out the bracket that he landed in equals out to being a 4th round pick for us.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think it's good that we have 2 4th-round picks now because this is a very deep draft, and
yes, sir.
The Cowboys usually do good picking in the 4th, 5th, 6th round. Like we got Anthony Brown in like the 6th round, I believe.
Sure. 6th round from Purdue. You got your quarterback in the 4th. You got Antoine Xavier Woods in the 5th. You got a lot of guys in the 4th round. Dorrance Armstrong is a 4th rounder. He's going to be a great end next year. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of great players in this draft around that pick.
I think now that we have the extra 4th-round pick, I think the Cowboys should consider maybe waiting on a running back and using maybe that extra 4th-round pick on like a scat back. Now that you got an extra one.
The way it's kind of set up with running backs this year, man, they're gonna be all over the place, right? You can wait till the 6th round and get a guy like Karan Higdon, Tony Pollard. You can get Darwin Thompson, the Holyfield kid from Georgia. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be plenty of running backs this year. It's gonna be some guys that's gonna go undrafted that I like a lot. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have to rush to get a running back. And these are the kind of running backs that we're looking for. Scat backs, pass catching backs that could probably play slot, that can play kick return, punt return. So the kind of running backs we want are going to be at the back of the draft. You know what I mean? So we can absolutely wait to the 5th, 6th round.
Yeah, I have one more question to ask.
Sure.
So I want to ask for our 2nd round pick. I want to know what do you think what do you think the Cowboys are going to do? Like, what do you think? I know what you want. Me and you both. I want an offensive lineman in the 2nd round.
Sure.
Like, that's what we want. And the Cowboys, they're kind of unpredictable. They'll do some crazy stuff you don't expect. Like, what do you think the Cowboys are going to do just based on what they've done before?
I think it depends on who's going to be on the board, and I don't have a great answer for you there. Like if it was like last year, the Cowboys drafting at 19, I can tell you 6 people that'll probably be on the board at 19 that they could possibly get. We don't draft till 58, and anything can happen between 1 to 58. You know what I'm saying? So a piece of me feels like this probably ain't gonna happen. But if Jeffrey Simmons is there, I'll take him. If Nazir Adderley is there, because we wanted to draft a safety last year in the 2nd. If we don't get Earl, in which whatever. If we don't get him and Nas or Taylor Rapp, or I don't think Deontay Thompson's going to be there, or Abrams or any of those guys. Like if a safety's there in the 2nd round, that could possibly it. So after free agency, I'll probably have a better idea of what we'll be going for, but probably the best player that fits what we need.
So there are going to be some good defensive tackles there in the 2nd round, right?
A bazillion of them, sure.
Because I just have this weird feeling that we're going to draft another D tackle, like not like a pass rusher, but like a run stopper defensive tackle. Because I feel like the Cowboys, they're going to get over concerned about what happened in the Rams game, and they're not going to want that to happen again. So they're going to just draft a big defensive tackle to plug up that middle.
This was gonna happen. Like a lot of people, like Dexter Lawrence. He's the one tech at Clemson, but sometimes he plays 3 tech because Clemson, like, they like to do a lot of dumb shit. But this was gonna happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pick number 19 is gonna, just whoever's picking at 19, they're gonna be on the board, right? And they're gonna say, hey, we could probably use a 1 tech. Dexter Lawrence is there. Do we get Dexter Lawrence right now? And somebody in the back of the room is gonna be like, yo, we can get Dexter Lawrence now. But fam, if we just wait till the next round, we can get a guy like Jerry Tillery or something. So where we can get this pick and let Dexter Lawrence go, and we'll just get a D tackle next round. And then when you get to like 29 and Dexter's on the board still, yo, coach, Dexter Lawrence on the board, but DK Metcalf is also on the board. Do we go receiver or do we go Dexter Lawrence? Well, tall receiver's going to run out at some point. Let's get the tall receiver and try to get a D. See what I'm saying? So Dexter Lawrence is a great player, but I think a lot of these D tackles are going to fall simply because there's so many of them. Remember that year in 2017 for the Cowboys in that draft. So that's the 2018 draft, really. Cheeto, right? No, 2017. Cheeto, right? Cheeto is a first round corner technically, but it was so many corners that year that we didn't draft Kevin King from Washington in the first round because we're gonna get Cheeto in the second and Jordan Lewis in the third. It was so many guys. You know what I mean? I think a lot of that's gonna happen this year with D tackle.
That's crazy. That you think about that 2017 draft might go down. Or 2017 draft. So the 2017 and the 2016 drafts were just so amazing.
Sure.
Late after the first round, I still can't believe that we were able to get Xavier Woods, Chidobe Awuzie, and Jordan Lewis in the same draft. That's just insane.
Cause we good, man. Cause we, what I'm saying? Cause we can draft. And I know a lot of people don't care about the 4th round compensatory pick. That just means y'all ain't doing enough research. Cause look, I'm gonna tell you this is gonna happen. I'm gonna be watching the 4th round, and there's gonna be guys flying off the board. I'm gonna be like, damn, I wish I had that dude. Damn, I wish I had that dude. Y'all should probably do a little more research, or just watch my videos when I'm breaking down these 4th round guys.
Do you see any scenario where we could trade back late into the first round for anybody?
I don't want to because, like I said earlier, the pick at 25 is just like the pick at 46 or just like the pick at 58. If we end up getting a guy, let's say we get Dexter Lawrence at 58, it's not likely he'll fall there. But the example I used earlier, right, is Gerald Willis, right? If we end up getting a tackle, Gerald Willis at 58, but somebody at 26 draft Polite from Florida, right? That ain't that much of a drop off to me. I still feel good about Gerald Willis. You know what I'm saying? So even though it's a drop off, it ain't much of one. This class ain't built like that to have a whole bunch of first round picks. It's really only 12 or 13 or so, if that, first round picks this year. It's about 40 second round picks and 60 third round picks. It's just some of these guys are going to just spill over into the next round or so.
Yeah, this is a good draft for us, especially because we do so good in the non-first round pick realm that it's a good year for us.
Absolutely.
Who if you want the Cowboys to take an O lineman in the second round, who are you looking at? Who's your favorite guy that you want the Cowboys to take? Could be available.
I want Cody Ford to fail one of his damn drug tests so he can fall to 58, but I know that's not going to happen. So I mean, realistically, at 58, Elgin Jenkins is a center from Mississippi State. I got a film session on him. Check him out. My son Chris Lindstrom, he's probably going to be a 3rd round guy. But I really do like him though. I ain't necessarily looking for a tackle because I think Connor Williams is gonna be just fine there. But it's a lot of guys, man. It's plenty. Ben Powers from Oklahoma can play guard for me, and I feel just fine about it. Ross Pearsonbacher, the center from Alabama, he can play center and guard. I wouldn't mind drafting him. He'll probably be a 2nd round guy that I wouldn't mind drafting. So it's plenty guys.
You see, if it's me, if I'm the Cowboys, this is what I would do. I'm trying to move Connor Williams to tackle,
Sure.
kick Leal off a bridge, and then draft a guy in the second round to fill Leal's spot. That's what I would do.
Sure, 100%. Plug him in and tackle. That's why I need Cody Ford to rob a bank and punch Goodell in the mouth so he can fall on these damn draft boards, man. Because Cody Ford can play both guards and both tackles, but that's just my thoughts.
The only way I see the Cowboys trading back up into the first round is if they want T.J. Hawkinson bad enough, they will trade back up into the first round to get T.J. Hawkinson.
Nah, TJ gonna be in the team somewhere, and I ain't trying to give up the equity to go from 58 to the teens. I'm trying to use all my picks because the difference between the Cowboys and these other teams is the Cowboys draft well. So a fourth round pick, a fourth and a third round pick is more valuable to us than it is to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So
There is a weird thing about tight ends that sometimes good tight ends will just fall for weird reasons. Teams because tight ends, a lot of teams they won't take a tight end because they think they want production now, and tight ends take a year or two to get acquainted to the league.
Well, teams do a lot of dumb shit every year. But I got people on my phone, Logan. I appreciate you, bro.
All right, you too, Voch.
Yeah.
Okie.
Peace. It's implied. Somebody in the chat box, I forgot who said it. Pardon me for not getting your name, but they was like, "Yo, Voch, how do you feel about Montez Sweat to my Green Bay Packers?" I mean, if you want to edge rush, I'm not mad at you. I thought I would think that the Packers would try to go linebacker help as soon as possible because once linebacker's gone, they're gone. But Montez Sweat, sure, he's a very raw player, long as hell, slender man. You know what I'm saying? He comes off the ball with a little bit of aggression, long arms, and if he can get his hands inside and extend on you, you won't be able to get hands on him. And that's how he beats a lot of people. So, when he gets to the league and there's long-armed, offensive tackles or whatever, then, he's going to have to learn some nuance. He's going to have to polish up a little bit. But we'll see. DP, what's happening? Is it me or does Mississippi State have a ton of talent and their record don't match? Sure, Mississippi State always got a good guy coming out, whether it be a defensive tackle, offensive lineman, our quarterback, DBs. There's always some guys coming out of Mississippi State. Appreciate it, DP. Mr. Wright dropped 2 in the super chat as well. He said, Mod Squad, stand up, salute. Quinn K, he said, so Voch, are you drafting an offensive line to replace a starter or just to add depth? I'm trying to push Leal Collins off a bridge because in 2020 he'll be a free agent. He's making $9 million now, and he's pissing me off when I watch him play. And he absolutely won't move the guard. I'm trying to move Connor Williams to right tackle where he belongs, and I'm trying to draft a guard. Quinn K, salute to you for dropping 5 in the super chat. All right, let's get back to the phones though. Line blowing up. This might be some smoke. Let's see. 559. Who this?
Hey, what's going on, man? It's George out here.
What's cracking, George? What you got for the show?
All right, man. I might be in the minority with this, but
Okay.
I feel that Cheeto is better than Byron.
Okay.
So I wouldn't mind not re-signing Byron so we can go after Earl Thomas. I know we don't have money. We don't have monopoly money. It's a salary cap.
We got 7
So I feel like it would just be better re-sign Lawrence, go after Earl Thomas, because I just feel that's to me that's our biggest weakness is we have no playmaking in our secondary. And to me, Earl Thomas is the best in the business. So
Boy, I got a lot of comments on that, George. So, as far as Cheeto being better than Byron,
I feel like
go ahead.
I wouldn't say right this second, but I feel like in the next couple of years, what we're gonna pay Byron,
Sure.
I feel that I just don't see him as a playmaking cornerback. He's a really, really good cornerback, but we can't pay everybody. We're gonna have to pay Cooper. We're gonna have to pay Zeke. We're gonna have to pay Dak.
Yeah.
There's so many players we gotta pay, and I feel like we can't sign everybody. And I feel that getting Earl Thomas, to me, will help our defense go to the next level, and I don't feel Byron Jones is going to do that for us.
So peep this out.
So that's kind of my point.
Okay, peep this out, and that's a great point. Thank you for making your points or whatever. I got plenty caveats, fam. So I would say Byron doesn't have a lot of turnover simply because teams don't throw the ball over there. You know what I mean? There was this long stretch of the season where people just didn't throw the ball over there. Byron probably gave up 4 plays all year. You know what I'm saying? And that's
But can you agree that in the second half of the season, he probably wasn't as great as the first half? Like, I feel like he gave up. I know it wasn't a lot of plays, but I felt like he was, a little bit. He was getting, a couple big balls thrown at him.
4 plays.
And he was giving them up.
4
so,
plays. 4 plays. Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, for me, it's just I'm more of a person that we can't pay everybody. So it's like we're gonna, good players hit the free agency. You can't sign them all. So I just feel that, Cheeto can be, to me, he can be that elite corner. I just see it in him. I feel like he is going to be, I wouldn't say top 5, but I don't know why, man. For some reason, I just have a feeling about Cheeto. That I'm willing to take a risk, let Byron go, and go after Earl Thomas.
So I don't I don't want to take a risk with Byron because you feel like Cheeto can be a top 5 pick, but the reality is Byron was a top 5 corner this year. You know what I'm saying? And he only gave up.
Yeah, but it's only.
Stop cutting me off!
You feel that?
Stop cutting me off! You let me talk. You let me talk.
My bad, man.
Damn. You let me talk.
Go ahead.
Damn. You cool. Byron was a top 5 cornerback this year. You can look at the numbers, stats, and all that. I don't necessarily subscribe to PFF, but Byron was a top 5 cornerback this year. Teams didn't throw the ball at him. So if Byron didn't get a lot of turnovers, I get it, because they weren't trying him necessarily. If your cornerback only gave up 4 plays all year, then I ain't mad at that. Cheeto did, in fact, get better towards the end of the season. I appreciate it, but why not just have 2 good cornerbacks on your team? That's what I'm trying to do. Also, if we get rid of Byron, we're forced to move guys around. I don't want to move AB back outside. I wouldn't mind Jordan Lewis outside, but I like having depth. I just like having guys. Also, another thing that we're very much underrating is that Byron Jones hadn't missed a game. Earl Thomas has been hurt for long periods of time for 3 years straight in a row. The last 3 years, Earl has been hurt 3 times where he's missed big chunks of the season. Byron Jones hasn't been hurt yet. Earl is 30, Byron is 25. So I'm trying to pay my guys. You feel like we don't have big money, but by the time it's time for Byron to get paid, we'll have $70 million in cap space, which is plenty money. Go ahead.
I get that, but I just feel I don't know, man. Dak is the way it sounds like he's gonna take $25 million,
which is
what
fine.
I'm thinking.
Which is fine.
So I have a feeling he's gonna get about $25 million.
Okay.
Cooper is gonna get what? At least what do you think? Maybe like 15, 16?
Sure.
I'm guessing.
Sure.
And who else we got? Lawrence is gonna get around $20 million.
Sure.
Like that money is gonna be gone. It's not gonna be. I know you know your stuff. I'm not saying you don't, but that $70 million is not gonna be $70 million. We're gonna pay 4 or 5 guys top dollar. That's all gone.
Sure.
Like so.
But those 3 guys won't take $70 million. Plus we got buttons we can hit that we always hit. We can hit a button on Tyron Smith contract and we'll have $10 million. We can hit one on Travis Frederick, we'll have like 7. So that's an additional 17 mil just hitting buttons on guys. You know what I mean? I think we will be able to get guys paid for. Even if we got to restructure guys, we will find a way to move monies around. We just got to be able to do it. One thing I don't want to do is I don't want to have dead money. I don't want to get money caught up in players not playing, and that could possibly mean paying Earl $10 plus million, and he laying down hurt somewhere, right? So if we just pay our guys, we'll be fine. But if we risk it on a 30-year-old safety that's been hurt the past 3 years, it could get bad for us. I would like to add Earl Thomas, but I want to sign my guys first.
Yeah, I agree with you. But it's just like, man, I've been a Cowboys fan since I was a kid.
Sure.
I mean, I grew up watching, well, I'm 30, but I watched Woody the last couple years.
Sure.
I watched Roy Williams. He had his little stint, a few years. He was all right. Sure. I don't know. It's just, for me, we just have not had a safety, man. It's just, that's what I want. And I feel like Earl Thomas, you're right, he has been injured, but I just feel that he still has at least 2 to 3 more years. Wow. If we give him a 4-year deal, yeah, we might have to eat money on that last year. I just feel like he has at least a couple more years at a, like, all-pro level.
Oh, I feel
I feel like that's just what I want, man. It's just, I don't know, man. It just gets frustrating watching our safeties do not a lot of work. It's just that's what it is. So.
I feel you. You 30, but I'm 26, and my tenure as a damn Cowboys fan, we never had a good corner, and we never had a good. Well, DeMarcus Ware, but after DeMarcus Ware, we haven't had a good edge rusher, and we haven't had good corners. I'm trying to pay my edge rusher, and I'm trying to pay my damn corners. And look, you want turnovers? You want to know a good way to get turnovers? Rush the passer. So if you want to do that, upgrade your D line, and you're bound to get more turnovers like we did towards the end of the season when Randy Gregory got better. We'll be fine, brother. Don't panic. Appreciate it, George. Thanks for the call, man.
All right, bro. All right, take it easy, man.
Yeah. My man George say, "Yo, Voch, how do you feel about this?" Well, I'll tell you. Well, no, Voch. Georgia cut me smooth off, dog. We got some platinum callers in here. Let me check my super chats first. Uncle David says, Awuzie won't turn his head around and beats himself. George is smoking some stuff. I will say there are absolutely signs that Cheeto can be a lockdown corner. We haven't seen Cheeto just get flat out burnt. It happened one time against Julio, but that's Julio. He gets beat on big plays because he doesn't get his head around to find the football. That's Cheeto's biggest problem or whatever. But fam, I tell you what, if Cheeto can get his eyes around and if he can turn elite, we got 2 top tier ass corners and we can draft a free safety with some range. Oh boy. Oh boy. If we top 8 with Jeff Heath, imagine what we'll be if we just draft a kid that's slightly better than him. Ken Hamlin was solid in 2010. Leave me alone, DP. I don't want to hear nothing about Ken Hamlin. Somebody in the chat box said, who the fuck is Cheeto? Chidobe Awuzie, fam. They call him Cheeto. Cheeto with a D. Let's see. John from Kentucky, what's cracking?
Well, hey, how you doing, boss?
Doski Woski, how you doing today?
I'm doing fine, man.
Marine John?
It's been raining for 20 days straight, it seems like here.
Man, look, first of all, John, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for your service, sir, and everything that you do, because I love to build AR-15s and come on the internet and say wild shit and not get arrested for it. So my First and my Second Amendment rights, I'm glad I got them. Appreciate you, John, for fighting for them. Now, go ahead. What you say now, brother?
Why is it that all of these Cowboy fans cannot grasp that we should draft an offensive lineman in the first 3 rounds every damn year?
Yep.
Every year.
Get her done. Yep. Tell them.
Because we need that depth. We need that talent.
Yep.
A lot of the people in the chat box aren't old enough, like me. I've been a Cowboys fan since 1973.
Yep.
I have seen a massive monster mauling offensive line that the Cowboys had in the 90s that gave Emmitt Smith 17,000 yards.
Yep.
Nasty offensive linemen like Newton, Williams, Gogan, Stepnowski, and all of that group, and they just mauled defensive line. And I miss that.
Yep. Tell them. Hey, man, I'm totally with you, because everybody want to complain about Dak and Zeke. Cool. If Dak and Zeke going to be on this team, and if we're going to pay them, build your offensive line to make life better for them. Thank you. Talk to them.
Your quarterback can't get sacked that many times. It just can't happen.
Get her. Look, man. Look. God is great and beer is good. You know what I mean? Get her done. I'm trying to let him know, John. I'm trying to let him know. But look, I'm trying to slowly educate people, man. I'm trying to just slowly. I don't want to just bombard them with information, because then it sounds like I'm preaching. And when you preach to people, that's when they kind of look away. I'm trying to slowly instill it in them that when we were the best offensively, 2016 offensive line, like, that was the big motor behind the offense being what it was, and the line ain't been right since we lost Free and Ron Leary. I'm trying to get my left guard and right tackle situation straight so we can go back to the daggone promised land, man. Talk to him.
I agree. And I want to ask you a question. It seemed like all season I heard people talking about compensatory draft pick that we were going to get for the receiver for Thompson, and then I don't hear anything about it now.
With the whole Deontay Thompson thing, I think that was something different. I think that was if he played a certain number of games, our something round pick turn into like a something other round pick. Like we would swap fourths or whatever, right? So I think if the Cowboys drafted at 160 or something, if Deontay Thompson played a certain amount of games, then that would turn into the 180th pick. But right before he played that number of games, we pushed him off the bridge. So we get to keep the 160. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't understand all that. I remember hearing about it, but I didn't really understand what was going on with it.
You,
and as far as safety, I don't understand why people don't remember Roy Williams. He was. I watched the Cowboys in the 90s when they went to those 3 Super Bowls, and he was, in my opinion, the best safety on the team. He was better than Woodson.
I was
no
a baby.
doubt about it.
Well, I was a baby, so I don't
saw
know.
him. Yeah. I saw him stuff Jerome Bettis and Christian Okoye at the line, and nobody else could do that, but he could.
Yeah. I was a baby when that was going on, and I saw a little bit of Roy Williams' career. I think what happened is that the game got a lot more spread out and vertical, and it forced him to cover in space a lot. And I think that was his detriment. But like when it was a power football, West Coast type of era or whatever, that's the best for Roy, where he could just play Robert, come up and hit people. But when they forced Roy to cover people, that's kind of when he, when he kind of fell off a little bit.
I agree. I think it was pretty well known that Woodson was the cover safety and Williams was the run stopper.
So from his Oklahoma days till about year 7, I'll say. Yeah, Roy was pretty top tier, but when he got like 29, 30, yeah, good luck, bro.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know that we'll draft this, and I don't think we'll go out and get any of this in free agency. But all my life, I've always thought a great tight end is a young quarterback's best friend. And the Cowboys have not gotten that for Dak for some reason.
We have tight ends. I just think we just gotta wait for them to develop. I think people wanted Jarwin and Schultz to be great today. But in real life, they get the second biggest playbook, and they basically play receiver in college, and they got to wrestle grown ass men when they get to the league. So they're gonna have a peanut butter sandwich and a steak and a glass of milk. They're gonna grow and lift some weights, and they're gonna learn the book. And by the time we get to this time next year, I think we'll be having a lot more positive things to say about Jarwin and Schultz. And I think Rico will be gone, but go ahead.
I agree. We've got young tight ends that need to develop. I mean, I agree, and I see some promise in some of them.
Sure.
I really don't understand why Rico never developed, because, man, with that height, it would just be so phenomenal for him to be better at tight end.
Man, Rico, and I didn't realize it until I watched film on him. Like it was like the fourth preseason game, but there were some missed mental processing things about Rico Gathers that just flat out didn't work. To where he'll run the option route, Mike White would throw the ball, but Rico's not looking for the ball. He just kind of misread the leverage. He would run the wrong route here, not really getting his head around, finding open spots in the coverage and things like that. I actually made a video on it if people want to go back and look at it. So that's some of the things that Rico had to work on. And a lot of people saying, so what, big deal. But that, just that one, not getting your head around to look for the ball, that can result in a touchdown or a sack by your quarterback. And we all know that in big game situations, one interception or one sack can totally turn the game. So it's a huge risk. So if you're gonna put Rico out there, put him out there to block and let him learn everything else on the go.
Well, Voch, man, with your connections, why don't you pick up that phone and call somebody and say, hey, Rico, why don't you go get all the Antonio Gates film you can get and study it?
Yeah, they gonna have to pay me though, John. That's the problem. They gotta pay me though. if I do end up coaching Rico guys, if he has one bad game, Cowboys fans are gonna want to fire me, and I need better job security than that. So,
Well, man, hey, I'm not going to keep your phone tied up. You keep doing a great job. I listen to all your stuff, man. You do a great job. You keep it rolling, all right?
appreciate it, Stargazer. Salute.
All right, you too, man.
Yeah. La da 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 da. Yo, Nick Gashler, hang tight. My young gangster Nick Gashler's on the phone. I'm about to get to him in a second, but Dwayne Porter says, "Stop." Coach Parcells called it. Roy Williams was a cheeseburger away from being a linebacker. That was his quoted statement, and I'm 42, and I remember everything. Fam, I'm 26. I wasn't here. I wasn't here. Come on. All right, cool. Chat box ain't talking about nothing. I don't think so. Oh, hell yeah, Pat. They're going to fire the hell out of me. You already know. My young gangster, Nick Gashler. What's up, bro?
What's going on, Voch? How you doing?
Man, you already know the Peasky Whiskey's free, man. I pass it out the door. What you got for the show, brother?
Can we talk some cornerbacks for a little bit?
Cornerbacks.
Cornerbacks.
Okay, cool. Now, let me just say this. I haven't fully educated myself on cornerbacks yet because, first of all, I hate watching them. It's my least favorite position to watch. Plus, I like to wait till the combine to watch. So everything you say about these cornerbacks, I'm basically taking your word for it. But you know what I'm saying? Like whenever it's time for me to really talk them, then we're going to talk them. But go ahead, my friend. You have the floor. I'm taking your word for it.
All right, I've got 8 done so far, and the one thing that sticks out to me the most is why isn't DeAndre Baker getting hype as cornerback 1? You look at Greedy Williams. Greedy Williams is a fast, athletic cornerback who can turn his hips. He's very agile, blah, 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 blah. He can't tackle for shit, though. I mean, you're going to watch his tape. He's going to miss every single tackle that you look at. Byron Murphy,
so you're saying because so let me just slow you down for it because everybody in my chat box ain't they may not be draft savvy just yet. So you saying Greedy Williams from LSU, you're saying he's better than DeAndre Baker from Georgia. You're saying that right now?
He is not better than DeAndre Baker. DeAndre Baker is the number 1 cornerback in this class and a top 5 prospect in this class.
So you're saying Greedy ain't as good as DeAndre Baker?
I'm saying Greedy is not as good as DeAndre Baker.
Okay. So I have seen some Greedy. I've seen some DeAndre. I've seen some Byron. I like DeAndre Baker. And I think Greedy Williams kind of gave up towards the end of the season. I saw Greedy kind of, shut down DK Metcalf. That was a big highlight of his year. But towards the end of the season, when LSU was kind of trash, I ain't really see Greedy step up and kind of take over or whatever. So I'm kind of with you on that. Go ahead.
Because what I'm hearing a lot of is Greedy's cornerback 1, Byron's number 2, and DeAndre's number 3. I actually kind of have that. DeAndre's number 1, and then Greedy's number 2. Byron's number 3. He's a good player. He's not undersized, but he's like at the lower end of the appropriate NFL size scale. But size honestly doesn't really matter anymore. He's the physical dude. But number 1, he can be over physical. Number 2, I didn't really see him do much in zone coverage. Sure. Let me pull up my scouting report. And he needs to play a little bit more in the run. His instincts are one of my most favorite traits on him. He can key in on what's going on in the play any day within the second, and he has some of the best instincts, which also elevate his ball skills as well. His athleticism, my big distinction between Greedy and Byron is that Greedy's the athletic one who's not very physical, and Byron is the physical one who's decently athletic but not the athletic one. But what you're looking at it as, go ahead.
So if I told you that Byron Murphy was my cornerback number 1, would you trip because of that? Like, would you trip out?
I wouldn't trip because a lot of people also have him at cornerback 1. But we'll see we'll cross that road when we get there.
I think he really puts himself in great position to where he ain't got to be athletic all the time. He's just always in great position.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
He's not the most, like I said, he's not the most athletic guy, but he makes it work with what he has to do. I'm not knocking his athleticism. I'm just saying
Okay.
he's not the most athletic guy in the class.
Okay.
But DeAndre Baker is just – hold on. Let me pull him. I did him the other night, and I evaluated him the other night. I was just blown away by how little hype this kid is getting.
Sure.
Well,
I think the hype is being distributed in a way that Greedy is a great name. You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
Greedy is a fantastic name. I think if Greedy Williams' first name was like David, well, if his name was just David Williams, you know what I'm saying? Then we'll see. But I'm not saying for a fact that Greedy ain't as good as Byron or DeAndre. I'm just saying that there is a conversation to be had about DeAndre versus Byron versus Greedy for the number one spot. That it ain't as blown out as the draft Illuminati would have you thinking. But go ahead, I got you.
Yeah. DeAndre is honestly not cornerback one. He's athletic. He's almost as physical as Byron. I mean, he doesn't stack up to what Greedy has in athleticism all the way, or what Byron has in physicality all the way. But he is a good mix of both of these guys. Sure. He's, again, like I said, with Byron at the lower end of the spectrum in terms of good NFL size for a cornerback. He's 5'11", 185. He'll probably get in the weight room, like you say. He's going to get a dumbbell and a peanut butter sandwich, and he's going to be just fine.
Yes, sir.
But he has his technique, his quick hips, change of direction ability. He's able to stay on routes pretty well. And he has the speed to keep up with the quick guys. He knows how to be physical at the point of attack, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Sure.
My big thing is he doesn't use or trust his instincts. I don't know if he's using his instincts. I just don't know if he trusts his instincts. There's going to be a lot of plays where he doesn't really key on the pass when he should be. He's not keying in on the run when he should be. He's a little bit of a liability of the run. I don't really see any of these top three corners making great plays against the run. And he has his hands on his receiver a lot in man coverage. He'll probably draw flags on the next level. You never know with the Saints.
I think the kid from Temple's pretty good against the run. Rocky Sin. I think he's pretty he's pretty solid against the run.
I'm just saying these top three guys are not the greatest against the run. But this Rocky Sin, I like this kid. I just finished him today.
Oh, he's angry. That's an angry dude. That dude's pissed off.
Hell yeah, I like him. He's probably my cornerback 5 or 6 below the 3, and then the Penn State kid whose name I cannot pronounce.
Let me try it. Armani Oruwariye. I think that's his name. Armani Oruwariye.
Okay. We'll go with that one. We'll go with that.
Oruwariye.
It's probably the most accurate I've seen. It's a difficult name, but yeah, I like Rocky.
I thought I wasn't going to be able to keep up with you in this cornerback conversation, Nick Gashler. Come on, man. Throw me a curveball or something, dog. Hell wrong with you?
Man, I'm only, like I said, I'm only 8 cornerbacks in. I'm on Julian Love right now. Then I'm going to the Vanderbilt kid, and then I'm going to do the Kentucky kid, and I'll be done. But
that's Julian Love from hold on, Nick. That's Julian Love from Notre Dame. Joejuan Williams from Vanderbilt, and who else you say?
Lonnie Johnson from Kentucky.
Okay, Lonnie Johnson from Kentucky. Okay.
And again, like you said, cornerback's probably my least favorite position because I'm not the best at scouting it. But
so I'll say this:
we'll get better at that.
Okay, let's talk about some underrated corners that you should probably get on your list. Write these down. When I was watching the Senior Bowl, this is one of Coach Evans' guys. I know he's in the chat box right now. Sheldon Redwine from Miami. He can play. Chris Boyd from Texas.
I've got Chris Boyd down.
Okay, he'll probably be one of your later guys. And Corey Ballantyne from Washburn. Get all those guys in.
Washburn,
Washburn, obscure state ass school.
Alrighty.
From Washburn. Watch those guys.
Obscure state.
Watch those guys, and you'll and then we'll have another
talk.
Conversation about corners. Man, I thought I wasn't gonna be able to keep up with you, man. Well, come on.
I'm sorry. Like I said, cornerback's not my strongest position.
I must be better than I thought. I must be just giving myself a hard time out here, man. I thought you was gonna hit me with a name I wasn't ready for, like Iman Marshall from USC. Come on, man. What else you got for the show, bro?
Can we talk quarterbacks for a little bit?
We can
I
talk
know you
quarterbacks.
Don't like them, neither do I. But let's talk quarterbacks.
We can say quarterback. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I don't really like them this year, man. I don't really like these guys this year. I will say it is the most fun quarterback to watch. that's not one of these top guys or whatever, I like to watch Tyree Jackson, man. I like to watch his big ass play.
Tyree Jackson can sling it, man.
That dude can throw the
kid,
damn ball, can't he?
He's Cam Newton 2.0.
Oh man,
Not in the sense of the talent, but he's plays a little bit like he's a poor man's Cam Newton. We'll call it that.
man. Like when the combine comes around for the culture, bro, I just want to see Tyree Jackson stand next to Kyler Murray.
Hell yeah.
For those of you that are in the chat box that may not be as draft savvy, Tyree Jackson, quarterback from Buffalo, is 6'7", 200 and mad pounds, and Kyler Murray is a little bitty 5'7" or so. So I believe Tyree is a whole foot taller, taller than Kyler Murray, and that'll be incredibly funny to watch. But go ahead, sir. Talk about your quarterbacks.
Quarterback one's got to be Haskins,
I think.
if you ask me.
Okay, so damn dog. Okay, so quarterback is weird this year. It's weird, right? Justin Herbert kind of let us down. I would love to see now. How dope would next year's quarterback class be if Haskins and Murray just waited till next year? How dope would that class be?
That would be because he get another year in that Ohio State system.
That'll be a fire ass class. But when it comes down to Dwayne Haskins, in which I do think he could potentially, he's not the best thrower in his class. I'll say that. He could be he could be quarterback one, but he's not the best thrower. I think Drew and Kyler Murray can throw better than Dwayne. When I watch Dwayne, his passes get a little weird outside the numbers, you know. Even though go ahead.
You know who he really reminded me of, and this is a little bit of a flyer. He reminded me of Deshaun Kaiser.
Okay.
I mean, my first look at him, a lot of Deshaun Kaiser. His throws are kind of all over the place. He's not the great. As you said in that film session 2 years ago when I first got hooked on your channel, he runs like a grandma.
Sure. Boy, see Stephen A. We gotta get Stephen A. Smith about the paint, dog. Like Dwayne Haskins has probably run the ball 6 times in like this whole year. What I don't know, but Dwayne can make some throws, man, and I think it depends on what offense he goes to. I don't think he's talented enough to transcend all offenses. You know, I think that's more, you know, that's more of a sunshine conversation in 2021 whenever we get there. But Dwayne Haskins, though, man, like I said, man, it gets weird outside the numbers. When you look at some of his offensive concepts, that, you know, they run a lot of mesh stuff, a lot of crossing routes, a lot of easy gimme stuff or whatever.
No deep routes.
You know what I mean? He can play the seams a little bit, and there is some evidence of vertical passing, but it's not consistent enough for me. It's not consistent enough, and I can't explain it because I'm not the smartest football guy in the world, and Coach Evans could probably help me on this. I can't explain it, but when I see Dwayne Haskins throw the ball, when I see him make these reads, it looks like somebody's doing it for him. We used to tell our old, you know, when I was in high school, we had this quarterback, freshman. He was a young guy, or whatever, but he could throw the ball. And we would tell him, don't make a play, make a decision. You know what I'm saying? We would basically make the decision for him. But when he sees it, all he got to do is throw it to the guy. Just see it and throw it to the guy. I think there's a lot of Dwayne Haskins or just a lot of whoever's calling the shots at Ohio State. It's a lot of that going on. He's just being asked to make the throw. As far as mental processing, I see him curl up a bunch. I see him misreads and try to, you know, hold the ball his way out of it. I see if the plays aren't directly on schedule, he may panic a bit and throw the ball, you know, where it shouldn't be, right? So Dwayne Haskins may be quarterback one. You know what I'm saying? He may be quarterback one, but that don't mean he's like, I don't feel good about it. I don't feel great about him.
No. The big problem that I was having earlier today when I got home from school before I went to the basketball game was Locke versus Jones. How do you feel about that one?
Drew Lock versus Daniel Jones? I take Drew Lock over Jones. I think Drew Lock getting a bunch of hate. And look, don't get me wrong, man. I think Josh Allen is making it to where guys like Drew Lock can make a lot of money in this league. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you come out with a big flashy ass arm and can run for a first down, we got a place for you in this league. You know what I mean? My thing about Drew, the same sort of things we were saying about Josh Allen. I think Drew Lock can make some throws that a lot of these quarterbacks on this list can't make. You know, pardon me. There was this one throw versus Georgia. You know, one of those, I'm on this hash, but I'm going to hit it on the corner, on the other side of the field. One of them.
The Patrick Mahomes.
You know, one of them stupid, dumb-ass, arm-telling-ass throws. But he'll miss the slant by 5 yards and throw an interception. You know what I'm saying? Drew Lock is definitely one of those guys, but I do think he takes a lot more chances. He's a lot more gangster with the football than Daniel Jones. He can push the ball further downfield. He definitely has the arm talent. He has touch when you ask for it. And his legs work pretty well. Now Daniel Jones can scramble too, but damn dog, Daniel Jones he be looking strange out here, man. Daniel Jones, he just don't put it together all the time. Let me respond to these two super chats before I let you go. Justin Quarles said thank you. He dropped a dub in the super chat. Made him an admin a little bit ago. I gave you a wrench, Justin. Salute to you. Also, Sean Doty dropped the dub in the super chat. He's one of my longtime patrons. Salute to you, sir. I'm interested in who thinks gonna play linebacker at the next level. Legit. Who's gonna be legit at the next level as far as linebacker? Well, linebacker's trash this year, Sean. But we'll probably touch on that a little bit after these quarterbacks. So Nick, Drew Lock versus Daniel Jones. Go ahead.
Daniel Jones, when I first evaluated him, and I know this is going to sound whack. You maybe think I was smoking weed. I don't know. He reminded me of Peyton Manning. I'm just going to come out and say it. He reminded me of Peyton Manning throwing the football.
Is it because he gets rid of the ball quick with a little bit of touch?
Mm-hmm. And he plays with Peyton's old coach or whatever.
Come on, guy. Don't be saying stuff like that, because the internet going to have you saying that you comparing Daniel Jones. I ain't teach you that yet. The damn internet going to have you thinking that you think Daniel Jones is Peyton Manning. Don't say that. But Daniel Jones does get rid of the ball quick, and he throws with great touch, and he makes decisions quickly. I feel you. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. And then I kind of reappeared in Lombardi's draft talk, and I saw everybody clowning Jones and everybody kind of applauding Luck, and I said, maybe I ought to take another look at this because what my big belief has been, if the Broncos draft Drew Lock, I'm not a Broncos fan anymore because we're going to lose. I'll still be a Broncos fan, but we'll still lose for the next 20 years because John Elway doesn't know what he's doing. But that's a story for a different day. So I decided to take another look at Drew Lock, looked back through my scouting report on him, looked back through Daniel Jones' scouting report, watched a couple drives from a couple different games, and the conclusion that I came away with is that Drew Lock, if he had the Alabama offense, he'd be a national champion.
Sure.
But he has the Mizzou offense, and
a lot of drops.
A lot of the throws.
A lot of drops, fam.
What? A lot of drops, and that would not be drops on the NFL level, which is what I'm saying.
Sure.
Obviously, the 5 yard in front of the slant interception, that's going to be a problem. But like you said, he can fit in some windows, man. In one play early on in the Alabama game when Deontay Thompson and one of their other DBs was in there,
sure,
he fitted through that little tight window to whoever the long last name tight end is coming out next year.
Sure.
I don't know, man. I'm starting to like Locke a little bit more than Jones.
I like Locke. I think Locke is a first round quarterback in this draft. In this draft in particular, I do think Drew Lock is a first round quarterback. Now, if Drew Lock was in next year's draft, I mean, good luck to you, Drew. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll be, you know. But in this class,
even in last year's draft,
Drew Lock can make his money. Now, I think there are a lot of people that think just like us. First of all, you Missouri playing in the SEC. Good luck to you. You know what I'm saying? But I think what's going to be very important is the combine next week. Is they're going to ask Drew Lock to make some. They're going to ask everybody to make some weird ass throws. They're going to put guys on the right hash. They're going to make them roll out left and throw to the back of the left end zone. And a lot of guys are going to miss those throws. But Drew Lock is going to be able to make those weird ass throws. Yeah, Lock can make them. So I'm with you. I'm more of a fan than I'm more of a fan of Drew Lock than a lot of people are.
And then we get to the Kyler Murray conversation, and
Sure.
at this point, I'm going to say Kyler Murray over Daniel Jones,
Sure.
based on what I saw.
Sure. Look, Kyler
I
Murray.
mean, again, I think he's going to bust on the next level, but we'll see.
Man, look, man, Kyler Murray ain't all that people say. Nah, you good. Nothing. Don't worry about it. Nothing. I ain't saying that.
Pulling a Quentin Williams.
That was a little Quentin Williams just for y'all that missed it. If it went
Nah, I'm good.
man, Kyler Murray and all that. Man, but I will say about Kyler Murray, if Kyler Murray was 6'5", he'll be quarterback one in this class. I will say that.
Yeah.
The problem is,
And if he was about 40 pounds heavier, but
Sure. The problem is that Kyler Murray is just a little bitty. But as far as him playing ball like a gangster, taking shots downfield, scrambling, speed, athleticism, or whatever, arm talent, that bitch he can throw. Kyler Murray can throw.
yeah, he can.
You know,
I was impressed when I watched him on.
he got some zip. He got some zip on it. I think he suffers from a little bit of hero ball sometimes. He's another one of those guys to where if he misses whatever read that he's looking for, he'll scramble and get himself in trouble and get sacked. He's definitely one of those guys that should probably control a little bit more. I think in the combine he's gonna come out and throw that bitch all over the place. The problem is that he's so little bitty. He's 5'7" and 175 pounds, which is terrible.
Yeah, that's my big thing. He's going to take one hit from the Aaron Donalds and the Quentin Williams and Dominican sees the big man defensive tackle, and he's going to say, "Damn, I want to go back to baseball." Man.
See, this is the problem. Oklahoma had the best offensive line in college football last year. They got five pros on that damn offensive line, and man, look, they saying, well, look, if you're gonna draft Kyler Murray, just draft a good offensive line. Man, he's still gonna get hit though. He's still gonna get hit.
There's no not taking hits in the NFL.
Yeah, I feel you.
In any football.
I feel you, bro. You want to host the rest of the show with me? Did you want to host the rest of the show with me? Because I got some callers on the line.
Sure, why not?
I know you ain't doing shit else. I know G from Miami and Keon. I know they want to talk about drafts, so I might as well have you with me. We're going to take Keon first. Keon, what's good?
Hey, how's it going, Voch?
Turn your car down, Keon. Damn, I can hear the traffic. You just passed the 18-wheeler, didn't you? Is it a high-speed chase going on next to you, Keon? What the hell going on? Roll your window up. Damn, Keon. What's up, man?
I'm actually at my workplace, and I was by like one of the machines that'd be wearing. My bad.
Well, Keon, turn your job down. Damn, did a bear get up in there or something? Golly, cut the oven off, Keon. What are you doing? Damn, dead for life, Keon.
Bad,
what's up, my guy? What you got for the show?
I mean, I question.
That man said 18-wheeler drove through his job. That means you get to go home. You get to go home, Keon. They done tore down the front door. You work at a bank? Cody Ford done robbed the bank? Damn. Keon, talk, man. Will you talk?
Right.
Go ahead, man.
All right. Well, I am a Bucs fan. You know me.
Sure.
I don't know. Like, what do you think the Bucs will have to do when it comes to number 5? What do you think the Bucs will have to do in this draft?
Trade it and get assets.
Thank you. Yeah, that's I was just about to, like it's a weird position drafting at number 5 because I think if you ain't 1, 2, or 3, good luck to you. But if you're the Buccaneers though, this is what you want though, Keon. You want as many quarterbacks to go in front of you as you could possibly get. You want to be in that Quentin Williams, Josh Allen sweepstakes. You want to be one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? Because besides that, I don't see nobody really being a 5th overall good best guy. Now if you want to ask Voch, I don't want to do this, but go get Cody Ford. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can't get Quentin Williams and if you can't get Josh Allen, then go get Cody Ford, plug him in, and don't lose no sleep. I just don't think your team gonna do that.
Yeah, I hear you, but I've heard a lot of buzz about Greedy Williams because Grimes is going to leave this year. I didn't know if you think that was an okay idea with our secondary and how that's been shaping up.
I ain't necessarily trying to draft Greedy Williams at 5, but how these cornerbacks are set up in this draft, is because look, y'all at the top of the second. Look, I love my Cowboys winning and going to the playoffs and winning playoff games and shit, but I hate not being at the top of the first, second, and third rounds. I can't stand that shit. And y'all are at the top of the second round. So you can get a guy like Julian Love, Kendall Sheffield, you know what I'm saying? One of these top named cornerbacks at the second round pick or whatever. But at 5, hey man, if you're gonna get offensive line, bro, just draft Cody Ford and move on. I like Greedy Williams, but he's not a top 5 player in my opinion.
I hear that. Well,
And I've been mocked. Go ahead.
No. I wanted to hear what you had to say, man.
I feel you, man.
I mean,
Go ahead, Nick.
I mean, I've been mocking them greedy for the longest time. I mean, I don't really do trades in my mock, but if I'm what Jason Litt and Bruce Arians in that Jason Light and Bruce Arians in that draft room draft day or a couple days before, I'm looking for whoever's willing to give up a first round pick, a second round pick, whatever I can get for that this pick. Whether it be the Redskins, the Dolphins, the goddamn Broncos, I hope not, but we'll see. Whoever's willing to give up their picks for a good quarterback to get fucking Jaguars, I don't even know. Who knows? It's the draft. But if you're looking for a quarterback, just like Voch said, if you're looking for somebody who needs a quarterback, is willing to trade up and take Haskins over the Giants or take Kyler Murray or whoever it may be, you're looking for those quarterbacks to go the quarterback sweepstakes so you can get into those Quinnen Williams, the Josh Allens that are going to fall and be there at whatever pick you have, 14, 15, whatever.
That's the thing, though. What's weird is that I've also heard that a lot of the quarterbacks that are in this draft are kind of weak. Do you think people are really going to go up and give up top picks for those? What is out there?
Let me tell you something, man.
Weird to me.
Jameis Winston better than Dwayne Haskins, bro. That's just my opinion.
Okay, of course. Well, that's the thing. There's no reason for us to get rid of Jameis Winston. I know that, but I'm saying, will anybody really give up Quinnen Williams for these other guys?
I know they gave up a 4th-round pick for Joe Flacco.
Man, I really
you never know what's gonna happen.
I really want the New York Giants to just trade up and get one of these kids, man. Boy, would it make my day for the New York Giants to trade up and get one of these. Oh boy. Boy, as a Cowboy, look, every time I say New York Giants, my damn teeth will get white. Every time I say it, if they move up and draft 5'8" Kyler Murray and we stick his ass. Oh boy. Oh, they go get Dwayne Haskins and they can't throw outside the numbers. Oh, please. And we just play cover 3 on that ass all day. Oh, God. But, sure, there are teams that could move up. It just depends, bro. I don't think nobody would move up to Arizona spot because that's the king ransom. I don't think they'll pay a king's ransom to go get Haskins. But you know how, 2 years ago, Chicago moved up just 1 pick to be able to go get Mitch. I think it'll be a situation like that to where somebody in the top 5 would move up a little bit, whether it be New York, whether it be Miami, you know what I'm saying, a team like that. Hell, if Jacksonville don't seal up Nick Foles, Jacksonville, you know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah. All right. Well, other than that, I didn't have a whole lot. I just wanted to say hi and just, stay here and listen in.
All right, then, Keon, I'll just mute you so you can listen. But peep this out, man. Next time a tornado come to your job, hang the phone up and get on the ground, man. Don't let the tornado just fly all close to you and shit, man. somebody call.
My bad.
Look, somebody calling you right now, man. You on the wireless headphones talking to us, man. Go on somewhere, Keon. Shit. Nick, why the hell Keon call us in the middle of a tropical storm?
Man, who knows?
Nick, I thought Keon was
in the Voch Lombardi show.
Boy, I thought Keon was in traffic. He just say he's standing by the oven. I'm like, what are y'all cooking? Cars? What restaurant cook washing machines? Hold on, Keon. Keon, what restaurant cook washing machines, fam? Keon can't talk because he at work. Keon can't talk because he at work. Ah,
That is
damn,
funny.
boy. That boy work at a yo-yo factory, boy. That boy, they got damn. Oh, shit. Okay, my bad. My bad. G from Miami, where you work at, man?
Yo, nah, man.
Okay, it's
Nah,
quiet over there. Okay, okay, it's quiet over there. Okay, cool. It's cool.
yeah, you don't gotta worry about that.
What's good, G from Miami?
What's good, Voch, man?
Doski
Yo,
Woski,
first of
bro.
all, shout out to the Patriots fans, and all
Fuck the
across
Patriots.
the world.
Man, fuck the Patriots, man.
I didn't think you guys could have a worse month than us, but you know, that's pretty much what it is.
Hey, man, look. Hey, look. To be fair, everybody giving Robert Kraft a hard time, fam. Let me just say this. If I was a billionaire, I would absolutely own a football team. I would absolutely hang around raps, and I would try to smash hoes as long as I could. Well, I'm not mad at Robert Kraft necessarily. Now, if it's a human trafficking situation, that's a different set of conversation to have. But I can't be mad. I can't be mad at Robert Kraft trying to get a back rub turned into a happy ending, right? I can't get mad at that.
I'm waiting for Jerry Jones to be next.
Jerry Jones already got young women, dog. That's already memes flowing around on Jerry Jones. I ain't trying to hear that.
Nah, but what was I say?
Let me get $1 billion. Please go ahead.
I haven't been on in a while. I wanted to catch a good draft talk. Normally when I be on, I'm talking to Cowboys.
Well, it's time, man. It's time, bro. It's that time
no,
again.
I have a good draft talk, man, about like I've seen like 3-4 mock drafts,
Sure.
which has the Dolphins selecting Kyler Murray at 13.
Ooh,
Now, personally, I don't
you
think
hate that shit. You hate that shit.
he hangs on till 13. I think it's a possibility that he can go within like top 7.
Okay.
But I just wanted to get your thoughts on that, cause me personally, like I like homie's game and all. And if this was any other year to draft a QB outside of maybe 2012 with luck, I wouldn't mind. But dog, we got Tua coming out in 2020 and Trevor Lawrence at 2021.
Sure.
I personally feel like we shouldn't. If we're not completely enamored with Kyler Murray, we shouldn't like trade to get to top 5 to get him. You know what I'm saying?
Keon dropped 50 in the super chat because that's way more important than what G from Miami talking about.
No,
Thank you for supporting the show. I take back all the mean things I said about your tornado drill at the job. My man. Appreciate it, Keon. You know you one of the goats around here, man. If I'm ever in your city, I'm gonna buy you a drink if you old enough. My bad, G from Miami. Okay, so listen, you're absolutely right. If you're gonna draft the quarterback, you want to wait for Tagovailoa, Herbert, or Jake Fromm next year, or you want to go draft Sunshine the year after that. Me, in my personal opinion, though. And I know I like to make fun of you for saying this, but I'm dead ass serious when I say this. I would rather keep Tannehill for one more year and just build the house. Nick, I'm not joking. Nick, and G,
I'm not laughing.
G, I'm not joking.
me, bro. He's gone.
One of y'all laugh. Listen, I'm not necessarily trying to push Tannehill off the bridge just yet, because I know that when Tannehill has a solid house around him, Tannehill can win you ball games. It's just that when he's playing, the house ain't what it could be, and when he's hurt, you know what I'm saying, he's hurt. But give him like let Gesicki get another year to kind of develop. Maybe get him another weapon or something. I don't know what your offensive line is built is working, looking like. Your run game looks quasi solid. Maybe you can add some more depth somewhere else. But I'm not necessarily of the notion to kick these quarterbacks off the bridge. I think Jameis is an okay player. I think Tannehill's an okay player. Build the house first, and not take a risk on one of these guys that you don't feel good about just for the sake of doing it. Go ahead, G.
But here's the thing. The thing is, like, wouldn't you agree that it would be, in terms of financially, a better move if we were to just get rid of him and then sign, like, Teddy Bridgewater? Cause I get what you're saying. Like, you'd rather, like, wait afloat. Because that's how I feel personally. Like, I like Kyler Murray. And if he falls to 13, I would be kind of tempted. But, I mean, like, we didn't even draft up to get Josh Rosen last year. So I feel like if we didn't even draft up to get Josh Rosen, like, what's the point of even trying that with Kyler Murray? But with Tannehill, I think he's done. I feel like our GM and our owner, they pretty much consider Tannehill dead weight at this point. Like, I get what you're saying.
Sure.
Throughout the years, yes, he hasn't had a crazy good, talented offensive line.
At all.
He only had like one weapon in Jarvis Landry. I get all of that, but
Sure.
bro, he's so beaten and battered, bro, that physically he cannot play quarterback at the high level anymore. And mentally, you could tell his confidence has gone down. Like, there were several moments last year where Tannehill needed to make the play, because even though some of our games would be blowouts, yeah, there were some games that were pretty close. And, like, you could blame it on coaching and all of that, because that played a factor into as well. But you could tell them hits have gotten to Tannehill's head. You know, like, physically he's not there anymore. He can't, you know what I'm saying? He can't. And then with the new coaching staff and the new offensive coordinator, that will be his, like, 4th or 5th offensive coordinator in 8 years. You know what I'm saying? That's terrible right there. So I feel like he's just dead weight at this point, you know?
And here's the thing, though. If you sign Teddy Bridgewater, you're going to win too many games, man.
Thank you, Nick.
I mean,
Thank you, Nick.
If you want Tua, if you want Justin, if you want Jake, even hell, we don't know what's going to happen with Jalen Hurts. If you want Jalen, I don't think he's going to win the Heisman, but that's besides the point. If you want Jalen, shit, don't sign Teddy Bridgewater. Re-sign Brock Osweiler or something. I don't know.
Yeah, be trash.
You guys need. I mean, if you're not going to get Kyler, or if you're not going to get a quarterback in this draft, you need to at least, even if it involves letting go Tannehill, you need to get a pretty bad leader. You need to make your team as bad as possible. I mean, I don't obviously, like, tanking's not a good thing for the franchise, but it is what you got to do. It is what it is. I mean, you look at the 76ers, if we're making basketball references, they tanked for however many long. They didn't play their number one center, the number one center in the league. They let their starting point guard sit for a whole year so they could get Markelle Fultz, only to trade him away. But either way, if you're going to tank, you got to be bad, and Teddy Bridgewater is going to win you too many games. So what's the point in wasting however much money you're paying Teddy Bridgewater for a year to just win, 8 games again, and be at number 13 or number 14 or number 15, and then you're going to have to trade up to go get Tua, or you're going to have to trade up to go get Jake or Justin, similar to what the Jets did. Remember when we all were saying suck for Sam and all that for the New York Jets, and they ended up picking 6, and they had to trade up to 3 to go get Darnold again? I mean, you don't want to end up in a situation like that. If you really want Tua, if you really want Justin, if you really want Jake next year, or even if you want T-Law in 2021.
I agree. Like, like, for me, if we could play David Fells, we could play, like, anybody, I would pretty much prefer to do that. I just feel like with this organization, they're gonna tank, but they're not really gonna call it tanking. And me personally, I would love to draft someone other than a quarterback at 13, assuming that Kyler Murray gets picking up early, like DeAndre Baker or a Greedy Williams, assuming he falls that far. I would love to draft, because, you know, we have Xavier Howard play like a top 5, top 4 cornerback this year, but he's expecting a lot of money, and rumors has it, like, the Patriots are ready to, like, dump him a lot of cash. So it's a possibility that we'll go next season without our number 1 corner. So I would love to, like, you know, get someone like Baker or Greedy Williams, but it might be draft talk, because I know last year they had us selecting Baker Mayfield. You know that one period before, like, I'd say before, like, a week before the Browns announced they were going to get him, every mock draft had us selecting Baker Mayfield. And I know a lot's going to change between right now and all the way when it's time for draft season. But the only thing that's concerning me is these talks of trading up and getting Kyler Murray. Like, personally, I feel like because a lot of people are looking at what Baker Mayfield was in his rookie season. A lot of people are not trying to.
But look, Baker taller and 20 pounds heavier than Kyler, though. that's
I
funny
agree,
part.
but I feel
that's
like,
funny part.
but I feel like just because of that it factor and that explosiveness that Kyler Murray has, because I'm not gonna lie, he can ball, but, like, bro, like, Like I'm scared. Like he's about the size of like a
He
high
little
school
bitty. He
defensive.
5'8" and
Yeah,
170. He better use that damn slide he
I'm
was gonna
inside,
use in
man.
Oakland before he took their money and had to give it back.
but I'm not gonna lie. You know, like scrambling quarterbacks. It's actually been proven that you have a higher chance of getting injured while you're in the pocket as opposed to out of the pocket. So, I mean, if he could sort of keep like a Russell Wilson, you know, freestyle, always getting like
He
6 yards. With his feet,
5'7", 170.
I know, it's pretty hard, but like,
And
I feel like if the Dolphins get him, I'm not really gonna be mad at the move because I feel like they really did their research and they just felt confident. But at the same time, I just wanted to get your thoughts on that whole like what do you all right if we don't get Kyler Murray, like at 13, who would you love for us to draft?
I don't want
I'd go
y'all to
with
get
Sean
nobody
Gary.
good because I'm a Cowboy fan, but I mean, you know, Nick, who would you think they
Which
should?
would think-
You guys are on a 3-4, right?
Yeah, they're changing to 3-4 right now.
That's a
You
weird
guys
part of the
hate
draft, man.
taking
Look,
DC, but
I was talking to my Cowboy fan listeners earlier in the show or whatever, just prior to the full blown draft talk that this thing turned into. I wouldn't want to be in this part of the draft. This is a weird part of the draft to be in from number 8 to 29. It's a weird ass part of the draft to be in because some people got y'all taking Ja'Kai Polite that early, and that'll make my ass itch if I took Ja'Kai Polite that early. Some people got you taking Montez Sweat. I mean, that'll make my ass itch taking Montez Sweat that early. You know what I mean? It's just I don't know. Like if Devin White, fell to y'all, possibly, maybe. I don't know what y'all linebacker situation like. I don't know what y'all offensive line situation like. Like I'm always trying to add, linemen to people, but it's a weird spot for y'all to be in.
Yeah.
Here's what
right. Sorry if I cut anybody off, but right now, basically, they really just determined that there's pretty much a group of players like right now that are pretty much untradeable, untouchable, and foundational features of our team. One of them being the offensive tackle that we got, Laramie Tunsil. The one being like Xavier Howard, and Jawan James, and like we got a young core.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I really don't know where. There's a lot of places we could go. We could either go with offensive line, we could go with linebacker, we could go with cornerback. I say cornerback because there's a chance that Xavier Howard might just take the biggest contract offer, when he becomes a free agent. But like, I just feel like, ironically, every year everyone is saying, okay, well, like the Dolphins shouldn't rush to get a quarterback, and I'm always like, come on, you guys are letting quarterbacks pass. But like, bro, Tua's coming out next year, and Trevor Lawrence the year after that. Like,
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? That's my only concern. If this was like 2013 heading on to 2014, or 2014 possibly heading on to the 2015 draft, and Kyler Murray was like QB1, I would have no problem with it. But you have potentially 2 generational quarterbacks that are coming out within, or 2 once-in-a-decade quarterbacks that are coming out like the year back-to-back. And there's solid guys like Justin Herbert and Jake Fromm that could still, you could still make a lot of magic with those picks. So, like, that's my only thing. Like, so I'm just, like, it's a real confusing time to be a Dolphins fan right now if you're paying attention to the draft.
And here's the thing that I'm looking at if I'm the Dolphins at 13. Cam Wake is 33, 34. He's going to retire really soon. You're going into a 3-4. Devon Godchaux can play the defensive tackle. I'm just going off what I do in Madden when I go and rebuild them or whatever. William Hayes, I don't know if he still plays, if he still starts, but he's in his 30s. So he's not going to be around for too much longer. Charles Harris is a backup outside line or backup left or defensive ends.
Cleveland Farrell
hasn't really had a chance.
Cleveland
Farrell's the option, but I'm going to drop the bomb real quick. You move Charles Harris to outside linebacker, and you draft Rashawn Gary to play 3-4 end at a 3-tech.
If he's there, sure. If he's there,
I think he's going to be there. The only team that I could see taking him at anywhere before 13 is the Lions, and I've heard from Chris over at in Lombardi's Draft Talk that they're heavily considering DK Metcalf at 8, or they might trade down. You never know.
Boy, if they
So
take
I feel like
DK
Rashawn-
Metcalf at 8, I'm gonna scream on my live show. I'm gonna do a live stream for the draft. By the way, me and Lieutenant Dan gonna be live streaming the whole draft. I think it's a lot of work and we shouldn't be doing it, but apparently people want to hear what the hell I got to say, so we'll be doing that.
I mean, again, we'll see until that draft day. But if I'm Detroit, I'm not going to take Rashawn Gary. I mean, you want production, you want pass rush. Obviously, if you move him to 3-4 end, he's probably going to be a decent pass rusher. But it's just unsure. I'd rather take somebody like DK Metcalf that could help stat Padford out.
You crazy as hell. I got more calls. G from Miami, wrap this up.
Oh, no, I'm good. That's it.
Okay, man. Well, this is draft season, and I'm doing a lot more draft shows, so be sure you tune in, man. I just dropped my O-line and D tackle rankings the other day. Go and watch those shows, G from Miami. You one of the staples in his draft talk thing, man.
All right, cool. I got you, my man.
All right, Doski Woski, bro. Salute. My man Steven Benzik just dropped through the chat box just for the hell of him being here. Nick Gash, who you think the Bears can draft with their second round pick because they don't have a first like the Cowboys? Who do you think the Bears can pick?
Can you give me a second to go into my mock draft and see who they don't have a second round pick, do they?
They ain't got a second round pick neither? God damn.
I don't think they have a second round pick. I think they traded away for Anthony Miller last year.
God damn. Damn.
I don't know. I'll check, but
okay. Well, name 3 positions the damn Chicago Bears can improve at for Steven Benzik in the chat box because he wanted the GOATs.
The Chicago Bears.
They ain't got a second round pick. God damn.
Running back.
No.
Running back. I don't know what the problem is with Jordan Howard, but you need something. Terry Cohen's not a starting back. He's a good running back. Don't get me wrong, but he isn't going to be able to do those first down, second down, third down plays consecutively. He's that kind of scat back runner. So I'd go maybe David Montgomery, Damian Harris, somebody in the third round that you can just pick up for decent value. Rodney Anderson.
Okay, so the homie said that the Bears do not have a second round pick. I think that's DeQuante Clark, but people like to change their damn names on YouTube, and I can notice them, I can recognize them by the damn profile pics because I respect my damn people. Even with 34,000 subs, I know my people. DeQuante Clark.
Yeah.
Quit changing your name, fam. Just go change his name. So yeah, sure. I don't know who the hell the Bears could draft because I don't know the damn picks they got. I ain't know they gave up. Look, I knew they gave up the house for damn Khalil Mack, but I ain't know that they gave up the whole house and the damn outhouse and the land and the plumbing and the damn trail in the backyard. I ain't know they gave up all that. But
I mean, I'd debate wide receiver. I mean, Taylor Gabriel's decent, but he's a journeyman, as we know. So you might want to think about signing or drafting a wide receiver maybe in the 4th or 5th round. But Preston, what's his name? Penny Hart, Andy Isabella, any of those guys might make an impact if you develop them.
Well, Penny Hart going to be in Dallas, so you ain't got to worry about that. Let's get back into the phones. 480. What's happening? Who this? 480. Who this?
Hey, this is coming at you from Wakanda. By the way, the Bears need to draft a kicker.
Cardinal fan, what's good, man?
What up?
This Cardinal fan?
How you, brother? Yeah, it's Cardinal fan.
Why you sound under the weather? And why you calling me from a new phone?
Oh, this is my cell phone. I need to call you from my work phone so I can watch your stream on my personal phone.
You can't
I'm
trust.
quiet because I'm holding my baby boy right now.
What up, Cardinal? You can't trust nobody that got 2 phones, man. You just can't trust people.
Hey, on the real though, I want to get your opinion on this trade room I heard about. The Cardinals are looking to pick up, drop their number 1 pick for Ryan Tannehill, the GOAT.
Oh, Jesus.
So, yeah, what do you think about that, Voch?
Well, Tannehill is Tannehill is the GOAT.
Yep.
And I don't think a first round pick is enough to get him. You're gonna have to trade a little bit more than that. Just 1 first round pick ain't enough. You got to trade everybody on the team to get Ryan Tannehill. It's interesting though. It could work.
Yeah, they gave up on Rosen, man. Tannehill's next level. That's take us to the promised land. No, but for reals though, what's going on with this with this draft rumor, the Cowboys are thinking about picking up Zion Williams. You hear about that?
Well, I tell you what, man. Power forwards end up being great tight ends, and I don't think people know this, but Jason Garrett was actually at the game, and he actually picked up Zion's shoe, the actual shoe that blew up and tore apart. Jason Garrett actually got up and clapped for Zion Williamson as he walked off the court, and he picked up his shoe. So I mean, there's some rumor to that the Cowboys are on the market for a tight end, and we've seen power forwards transition into tight ends before. So sure.
Well, that was a sad situation for everybody. I heard that 8-year-old shoemaker of the Nike shoe that made Zion's shoe got fired. For that shoe falling apart.
Well, he did. Well, he did because he hopped on social media talking all that shit. Look, the problem is Jordan make these shoes. They only cost like $10 to make, but they sell them for $150. He gonna get his dumb ass on the internet talking about some however much. He gonna get his dumb ass on the internet talking about some. The Illuminati made me sell this make this damn shoe for $8. Y'all don't need to be paying more than $8 for a shoe. So the Illuminati they wiped the kid away. They put him in a dungeon somewhere. So yeah, Cardinal. Yeah, I heard all that too. Yeah, sure. He shouldn't have been talking shit. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
But
my real question, not pertaining to draft, but what, in your guys' opinion, I got my own opinion on this, but I'm curious to hear yours. Who's the most overhyped team that's going to be a disappointment next year?
Team?
Yeah, what team's overhyped? Next year is just going to be disappointing.
The Green Bay Packers pissed me off, man. And I don't know what's going on with them infrastructure wise, but I think it's going to be hard for anybody to come in and try to put their new system in and basically tell Aaron Rodgers what to do. If Aaron Rodgers can't work with the damn coach he's been working with for the past decade, I don't see a brand new coach coming in with brand new ideas trying to make things shake. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to be having that. That team could be downtrodden, man. That team could be downtrodden. I know a lot of people want to talk about the Green Bay Packers as if they just had a bad year or something like that, and they're just going to be right back where they were. It ain't like nobody got hurt last year. It ain't like Aaron got hurt and the team was bad. Aaron was just
he did. He was hurt for the first. Didn't he hurt his leg, the first knee, the first game? He's limping around or something.
Aaron be faking that shit, man. That shit ain't real.
Oh yeah, he does. He's a faker. That's true.
That ain't real.
Hey, let's try something new on your show, Voch. I'll give you an example of the team that I think is going to be overrated, and then I'll actually back it up with facts.
You gonna talk about the
Cowboys? Does that sound fun?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
you
sure.
Want to try that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. He gonna say the Cowboys first. He gonna say the Cowboys first.
So I'm actually thinking the Rams.
Okay.
And I'll give you a couple of reasons.
Okay.
The first reason is, first of all, they won 13 games. That's pretty unsustainable. Second reason is, I think Belichick showed people how to beat the Rams. Third reason is, they're going to lose Sue and Joyner. Sue was in this year, but that's pretty significant. I know they have like 18 free agents and like $30 million to fill those holes. And then I think they won, it was either like 7 or 8 games this year by 7 points or less. I don't think Goff's the real deal. I think he's just a product of the system. And so I definitely think the Rams are going to fall off this year. That's my opinion.
If they don't sign their offensive line back, they're really going to have some problems because the Patriots D line was able to kick their ass all day. So they should basically try to fix that first. Now I don't know if C.J. Anderson over Todd Gurley is going to be a long-term thing. I don't think it should. But you definitely need to do whatever you need to do to get Todd Gurley back to playing elite. Because if not, then Jared Goff is gonna have to make a lot more throws, and if he can't, has a problem. Has a problem. The more Goff throws, the more of an issue you have. So,
Nick, why were you thinking the Rams? Oh, sorry, I didn't think. I'm sorry.
No, I'm done.
No. Go ahead.
I'm good. Go ahead, Nick.
Every year, whether you win or lose in minus the Patriots, you're going to have a Super Bowl hangover. Broncos, obviously. We'll go back to Super Bowl 50. Broncos, obviously.
You're a Broncos
Panthers.
fan? What's your team?
Oh, Broncos.
You're a Broncos fan. Cool.
Carolina shitted the bed that year. Who was after that? Falcons. I mean, they got back to the playoffs, but they didn't do anything. I mean, to the Falcons, what do you expect? Eagles this year, they weren't. I mean, they lost the division to the Cowboys with the Amari Cooper thing, and they were looking terrible at the beginning of the season, that first half of the season, until Nick Foles came back in for the Carson Wentz injury. But I mean, and then you look at the Rams. Like you said, Goff is going to get dissected in the film room this year. They're going to lose a lot of key players on defense. Their defense wasn't that. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't great. It wasn't championship caliber defense. Aaron Donald's a stud, but who else is on that defense is going to make a difference? And Dominican Sue, he'll be gone. LaMarcus Joyner, he'll probably be gone. Marcus Peters and Aqib Talib. I mean, Aqib Talib's getting up there in age. Marcus Peters gets burned every down. I mean, everybody's so quick to talk about, Sean McVay is such a glorified offensive mind. Oh my God. I mean, people are going to figure it out eventually. It's how the NFL works, and it's how it's worked for years now. So I have to agree with you. I don't think the Rams are going to do necessarily bad, have a losing season, but I don't think they're going to be back up to where they were. You said 13 games is hard to win. You're right.
Yeah,
13, you can't win 13 games You can't win 13 games consecutively unless you have Tom Brady and Gronk at quarterback and wide receiver like the Patriots did these last couple of years until this year. So yeah.
Hey, speaking of the Patriots, do they fall under this category? Did they fall under the most hyped team that could be a disappointment? Super Bowl hangover? No?
I'm not betting against Tom Brady, dog. Till he gone.
You can never bet.
Till he done. I ain't betting against Tom till he done, man.
There's one thing I've learned about the NFL. It's that. It's just. I mean, they're not going to do great, but once they get into the playoffs, they're pretty much unstoppable unless you just have such a good team that you can beat them. I mean, I think that's going to be Patrick Mahomes this year. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know, man. I just don't have a good feeling about the Rams, especially the 49ers. They have a lot of pieces missing, but this draft they're picking high. They're going to be able to get that edge rusher, probably Nick Bosa, if the Cardinals are smart and take Quinn Williams. You're a Cardinals fan, right?
We're not smart.
Steve Kine.
Hey, I'm real. My bot, I'm real, dude. I'll keep it real. 100.
You sick of this shit. Oh, he's sick of this shit.
Well, go ahead.
Jimmy G's getting back. I don't know about. I mean, I don't think they're going to do great because last year at this time I was calling the 49ers to be a 9-7, 10-6 team, and they probably would have with the Jimmy G still in, but with Jimmy G out, they shot the bed again. But I think that Jimmy G is going to kind of come back, going to do decent things for the season. If the Rams drop down to 9-7, 10-6, 11-5, they're right around there with the 49ers, who could be 9-7, 10-6 type team, to be losing the NFC West and getting that 5th or 6th wild card seed. So you never know. I don't think they're going to miss the playoffs, but I do think they're not going to go 13-3 again.
Heck no. Hey, real quick, Botch. This is the real Law Nation. I just wanted to dedicate a song to your Cowboys.
Okay, don't get hung up on, but go ahead.
My Cowboys.
Go. Yeah, go ahead, but don't make me hang up the phone on you.
But I think it's to be honest, I think it's although we come to the end of the road.
All right, Cardinal fan, I'm about to hang up on you. I appreciate it, homie. Thanks for calling in.
Love you, Voch. Hey, you're the real deal. Everybody hit subscribe, like button, share button. That's free. I'll do it right now. Hold on.
There you go.
Bam. Just hit the like button. Hit that like button, everybody. That's like in the YouTube game. Put Voch up to the top of the list. Voch, I went back.
Okay.
I went back and watched some of your old videos from when I first started watching you, when you had
Boy, I was trash.
12,000 subscribers.
Boy, I was trash, wasn't it?
And yeah, man, you've come a long way, not just from the subscribers' point of view, but I think back in those days you had like a little bit of a cheeseburger face going too.
Oh,
now it's
no.
skinny Voch. I don't know if you're on the tofu game right now or what, but you're slimming up, man. Go back and take a peek at those videos. Keep up the hard work.
Yeah.
And
what? Yeah, appreciate. I don't know how to take that.
No, that's in the past, man. That's in the past. I'm just saying,
That's
you know.
old shit. I appreciate it.
I just want to say, you know, game recognized game.
Salute, bro.
And
Vegan vibes.
if you're listening to this right now, whoever's out there listening to this, it's because you recognize the game. Let's support that, right? Let's hit that subscribe, like, share button. Free. And when you hit that share button, if you go into the deep analytics of YouTube, when your friend shares something, there's a 50% conversion rate on the subscription.
Damn.
That means your homies, half of your homies that you share it with are going to hit subscribe as well.
Damn.
And if you're listening, it's because you believe this is good, quality content.
Damn.
Let's share it.
Yeah.
Let's push Voch along on his dream. And I can tell you from 11,000 subscribers to 35 or whatever you're at, I've sat back and watched the whole thing, and I've appreciated every minute of it. I don't think people realize the effort, the time, and the talent that it takes to simplify the game of football so that people that are listening can understand it in an easy way. That's a talent. And I appreciate your talent. That's why I listen, Voch. And blessings to you, Nick. Positive energy. Keep me in the loop. If you guys need anything, Cardinal fans always around. So take care, guys, and I'll listen offline.
Appreciate it, man. Doski Woski, bro. Salute.
Yeah.
Salute to you and yours.
Wakanda.
Man. Everybody in the chat box that called me the Hamburglar getting kicked out right now. I'm banning all your asses. Good luck. Go listen to somebody. Go listen to Break Holman or something. You're getting kicked out the damn thing. This is the last call of the night, man. I got a phone call to make after this. So we're going to go ahead and get this call on, and we're going to let young Nick go, and we're going to let Keon get back to, dodging the tropical storm. 262, what's happening? Who this?
Hey, man, this is Taryn.
What up, Taryn? What you got for the show?
So, I had a question, and it works perfect because you touched on the Packers a little bit. Now, I don't think this is going to happen, but it's taken up a lot of heat. I'm seeing AB wanting, Packer fans have been wanting it. It's all over my Twitter just because I'm a Packer fan. Yeah. And I originally didn't think much of it, but now, some of the Colin Cowherds of the world and those guys kind of talk about it. It's picking up steam a little bit. Sure. I think I'm the only person that thinks that that's an awful idea. What do you think? I know you're a Cowboys fan, but from a Packers perspective, what do you think about making a trade for AB?
Well, the one thing that the Packers locker room need now is continuity and brotherhood and friendship. And I don't necessarily.
AB's not going to bring that.
I don't necessarily know if AB is gonna bring you that day one. Plus, he's gonna put a little hamper on your salary cap. Then he's a 30-year-old player now, 31. But I mean, you also got to think how much does he improve that situation in particular, right? Aaron Rodgers elevates his receivers. We all know that. So how much growth do you think you'll get from AB from Valdez Scantling? You know what I'm saying? Like how much of a difference? Yes, AB is a better receiver than him, of course. Absolutely. Top tier. 100%. I get it. But based on what Aaron Rodgers does with his receivers, how much is changing in that one instance or whatever? And I don't think it's very much. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you coming from a system that doesn't have a perfect quarterback, that doesn't have a perfect situation, perfect scenario, then you'll probably get off a little, different than that. But paying a 30-year-old that could possibly give you locker room problems and salary cap issues, I mean, it could be it it could be a bit of an issue here. So I mean, I wouldn't be that excited for it neither. I would rather draft a guy. Hell, y'all got receivers. Y'all got receivers that are fine.
Yeah, Devontae Adams. I was gonna say Devontae Adams a top 10.
Yeah, go.
Be happy with him.
Yeah, go fix your run game or something. So we ain't just switching between Aaron and Jamal, not knowing who the hell gonna start next year. Sure that thing up.
Yeah. Oh, that's so refreshing to hear. It's a little ridiculous. We got so many other holes, and then I don't want my rookie head coach, first-year head coach, coming in and trying to deal with AB on top of teaching Aaron an offense, all this.
Sure.
I just think it'd be an awful idea. And we don't have a ton of cap room, but we have enough that we could make a move. Now, one of the things I hate about the organization is they tend to be like little kittens in free agency. They just kind of hide and don't do anything.
Sure.
But yeah, that's just really refreshing to hear. I've been fighting that battle for the last 2 weeks all over social media.
Yeah, 100%. I just think some Packers fans may possibly get emotional, but a fan in general, they get excited at the idea of free agent, big free agent acquisition. You know what I'm saying? It's fun. What was you saying, Nick?
And Aaron Rodgers is an ego. Antonio Brown is obviously an ego, and we saw what happens when egos collide in Pittsburgh, whether it be Le'Veon Bell, whether it be Ben Roethlisberger, whether it be Antonio Brown. Regardless, I mean, we see what happens there. It doesn't seem like a recipe for success if you bring Antonio Brown over, where another – I'm not going to say diva quarterback is, but where he has a pretty big ego. I don't really see the sense in that, just from a perspective of a locker room and looking at it like that, especially with like you said, with your rookie head coach, Matt LaFleur.
Yeah, I agree completely. I'm kind of curious, why do you think that the Packers are going to be so bad next year? I think with, depending on how LaFleur does it, that's a big question mark in itself. But I think draft right and maybe a decent free agent signing, and we could be in contention for winning the division.
Well, I don't really have a logical reason. I'm just a hateful Cowboys fan, so I was just talking shit. I mean the Cowboy. I mean the Packers have a good of a chance, next year. Just as any other year. I think as long as they got Aaron Rodgers, they'll be fine. They seem to make big DB moves the past couple years. Y'all got 3 corners that can cover. That's interesting. Your D line is fine. I mean, you probably just need to draft a linebacker and move on with your life. And the defense will probably keep you in games a little more. So that's probably something that you could address. And also, I think Aaron Rodgers. I mean, if you want to put the game in his hand and let him throw 40, 50 times a game, cool. But even with somebody like Drew Brees, like sometimes a solid top tier run game can make any quarterback / team better. I've seen Drew Brees have the best damn offense in the league and still go, like 7-9. You know what I'm saying? So, I ain't, I'm talking shit about the Packers because they make my ass itch, man. But if y'all could fix anything, I mean, I think you're a linebacker / run game fix away from, being better than you were last year.
Okay, yeah. I agree, and actually for both of you, because I think safety is another thing we need. What are your guys' thoughts on Nasir Adderley, if you've seen him? I think he's my favorite safety, and I never see him talked about. A little bit after the Senior Bowl, but before that, I think just because he's out in Delaware, nobody even pays attention to him.
He's a gangster. I think any safety that can give you range, but also tackling and physicality, I think that's a safety worth looking at. So he's absolutely a free safety because of his range ability, but he's not afraid to tackle. He finds the ball well, gets to his landmarks pretty well. Physical asshole. My favorite highlight of him, and you can go watch my film session I did on him, was the punt return.
One-handed catch.
Punt return. He caught the damn punt return, ran old boy over, looked at him, everything stopped, and then he went to go score the touchdown. I think that says a lot about his temperament and attitude. And a free safety with a bad attitude that can tackle is rare.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Sure.
Yeah, that's all I really had, though.
All right, appreciate it, Taryn. This wouldn't happen to be Taryn Butler, the world class shooter now, is it?
I do not know who that is.
Well, okay,
Don't
well,
know.
okay, well, if y'all Google Taryn Butler, he could shoot the shit out some guns. All right, Taryn, but I just added you as a platinum caller, so next time you call in, you'll go to the front of the list, and you ain't waiting so damn long next time. Salute, bro.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate you much.
Yeah. We're gonna wrap this show up, man. Great show. Thanks everybody for coming through. Joe's up in here, Cleveland's up in here. Stephanie was in the chat box for the first time I saw today. Hope you enjoyed the show. Joey was up in here. I saw some of my admins. I gave Justin a wrench. Salute to you. Mike was in the chat box with the hamburger emojis. I'm taking your wrench back. Mike's Meticulous Detail Podcast was up in here. Incognito was up here. Nene was up in here. Salute to all the faithfuls for coming through, supporting. Joe was up in here. Appreciate y'all. Let's get Keon's closing statements. We're gonna get him up out of here. Keon, you didn't get fired, did you?
Yeah.
You didn't get fired, did you?
No.
That's
not happening.
All right, man. Appreciate the super chat, bro. Salute, man.
Yeah, man. Much love. Hey, and I really appreciate what you're doing, dropping knowledge. It's so much fun to listen to, man.
I try, man. I try. What I want to do for this show, man, is I want to educate the football fan as a whole with film and facts. And, I kind of want people to go into their everyday life football conversation, smarter than y'all friends. So appreciate it, bro. Salute.
Yeah, man. Salute.
Yeah. Man, we got one caller, man. I hate to be like this, man. Somebody pull my clock out and play clock game real fast. Nick Gash for 45 or 60? Just pick a number.
60.
60?
We'll let him talk. 60.
All right, we're gonna give him 60 seconds. So we're gonna pull out the clock and we're gonna play clock game. In case y'all don't know about clock game, I'm gonna put a timer on my phone. And we're going to let this person talk, and I hang up whenever we hit a beep, unless they say some impressive shit like Voch Lombardi's the GOAT. And we'll run their time a little bit more. And it starts after the intro. All right, cool. 870, who this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Bob, man. I've watched your stuff, man, and you are so good. I've been watching it. And I just want to know about Cable, Tom Cable. I'm a Raiders fan. I've been in the wilderness for 20 years, man. Yeah. But here's the thing: is that I just want to know about Cable. Is it Cable that drafted? Do you think it's Cable that drafted Miller and moved Penn from left tackle to right tackle, or do you think it was Gruden, or are these guys just incompetent, or what?
Colton Miller was definitely a player that I don't like a bunch.
I know. I went back and watched it. I went back and watched, your stuff on Colton Miller, and I'm going, well, yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
And it makes sense because every time people say Josh Rosen got hit a bunch and he was suffering from a lot of concussions and shit like well, his left tackle was Colton Miller. Colton Miller he has a high ceiling though. He can move really well, great size, great length, but he's kind of soft and he doesn't really use his tools well. So I don't necessarily think it was Tom Cable that made the move, but whoever made the move had Tom Cable in mind, saying, "Look, Tom, you're one of the best offensive line coaches in the league. We're gonna need you to turn this kid into sugar from shit." You know what I'm saying? So I'm not a fan of him, but if you can somehow put him on your team for 3 years and develop him into a starter, then Tom Cable deserves a raise.
Number 1 draft pick, for Christ's sakes. It's like we reached. I think what happened was that we lost a coin flip. And 49ers got McClinchy,
sure,
who I think is what Gruden wanted.
Sure.
And then he panicked, and then he sold out. The 10th to the Cardinals.
To the Cardinals, yeah, for the third round pick, yeah.
Yeah, for a third round pick, which they threw away because they got
Rosen.
The guy that got suspended.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. So what I'm saying is that, and you guys were talking about the draft, and my hope is that the Raiders will trade down, or or somebody will trade up in front of the Raiders and we get one of those top 3 guys. You know?
Well, that's what you want, and in real life, I think that's what'll happen. All you need is one quarterback to go in front of you, and then you'll be in the Quinn and Bosa Allen conversation. So that'll be good to go. I'm not necessarily trying to trade back. If I'm Oakland, I'm trying to get the best players I could possibly get, because you already got 3 picks, three first round picks. So you don't have to really try to finesse a gang of picks here. You already got a gang of them, you know. So if you're in the top spot, get your guys and move on. But
like Quentin Williams would be like awesome.
Man, if Quentin Williams is on the board and you there, you should run to the podium. You should run to the podium and get Quentin Williams and push Maurice Hurst off a bridge. I like Maurice Hurst, but Quentin Williams is different.
Well, see, that's the thing is that and I've heard, oh my God, stupid shit like, oh, well, we're going to trade our 24th and 27th for Cardinals number 1 and get Murray.
Nah, man. Keep your guys. Keep Derek Carr.
I know what I want.
Yeah, keep Derek Carr and build the house around him. You know what I mean? Just build his house. And if y'all still bad next year, then draft the quarterback in the class that has good quarterbacks in it. So.
Well, yeah. I'd like to get an offensive tackle since we screwed that up. How about Reisner? What do you think about Reisner? Oh, actually, you had him about in the middle, right, of your top 10?
Yeah. For which pick? The 22nd pick?
Yeah.
Or
24th.
24. Yeah.
But see, I don't think he'll make it that far. Do you think he'll make it that far?
He's not going to make it that far. I think he's going to get drafted by the Minnesota Vikings.
I think he'll be there. I think he'll be there. I think according to what I think, and I'm not the type to do mock drafts, but I think a guy like Andre Dillard would fall to Minnesota.
Whoa.
And I think you guys would get a guy like you guys would get Dalton Risner. I do think Dalton would be right at the line of where somebody could go, because it'll be Cody, then Jonah, then Juwan, and then Andre Dillard. And then Dalton Risner will probably go out there.
Yeah, I'd like to get Cody, but I got a feeling Dallas might get him.
Nah, Dallas ain't getting Cody Ford. But I need Cody Ford to rob a bank for Dallas to get Cody Ford.
I've been hearing.
I need Cody Ford to damn send a tornado somewhere and tear up some cattle.
I've seen. I've seen your stuff on him. I watch you. I listen to you.
Yeah.
I go through all the stuff. Man, you do awesome.
Appreciate it, brother.
Awesome work.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you very much, man. You keep watching, man. I'm just trying to further educate people. And when I do my DBs, in which I'm sure the Raiders will draft one, watch that video too, so you can be up on game for your guys or whatever. I appreciate you, man. I just added you to my platinum list as well, Bob. So next time you call in, you go to the top of the list with everybody else, all the other platinum people. This was a good call, Bob. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you. You do good. You do excellent work. I'll get online one of these days. I'm watching on YouTube on Roku, so it's not a very good system.
Oh, I'm on Roku?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, no. Okay. You're on YouTube. That's on Roku.
Oh, okay. Same thing. All right, man. Cool.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Bob. Appreciate it, Bob. Boy, look at me trying to get a check from somebody. Dog. Like, they need to pay me to be on this. Now, Nick, I know what you're thinking. I know I was going to play clock game, and I had my phone set to 60 seconds, but boy, he said, invite you the greatest. And I couldn't stop him.
Man, yeah. It's all good.
Oh, Nick, I couldn't stop him. Nick, I was about to stop him, but he said, invite you the greatest. No, I couldn't help myself. But
Man.
Now we're done. Nick Gashler, you have anything to plug before we leave here, sir? You on the back burner. You ain't really active yet.
Yeah, I'm kind of laying low right now. But hey, if you're on Lombardi's Draft Talk, keep your eyes peeled for my post. I'm sharing a lot of Google Docs with the public, where I have my explanations and rankings. So if you're in that Facebook group, Lombardi's Draft Talk, be sure to keep your eyes peeled. And also, Voch, I'll get a bag together, and we're gonna get you to come to Colorado and coach our football team. Because goddamn, we need it.
Get the money together, man. Get the bag, and I'll send y'all to state. I promise. All right, bro. Oh man, that's my homie Nick Gashler, man. In case y'all didn't know, man, Nick is 15 years old, man. He is my draft phenom, and he's standing right next to me on this. Not in real life, he's on the phone, but for him to be on this show, and I think I would say I got some pretty good draft knowledge or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But he's my 15-year-old phenom, and I'm gonna make him a star one day. He's gonna get his website going, his draft reports and all that, and his YouTube channel back going. He's gonna be a gangster in this thing, man. That kid, 15 years old, he's talented, and he's gonna be special. One day when I'm too old to come out here and fuss with y'all, I'm gonna send this young ass on y'all to scream and holler, all right? Hey man, thanks everybody for tuning in, bro. This was a dope one. You know the dope ones because they last 2 goddamn hours and 16 minutes. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know they're great. Let's run this roll call back out. Uncle Dave Alexander, salute to you, sir. Dropping a lot of bread in the super chat, man. Quinn K, Mr. Wright, DP Dwayne Porter, Justin Quarles, Sean Doty, and Keon with the big 50 in the super chat, man. Appreciate y'all for coming through, listening to the show. Hey man, like this video, man. Like they said already, man. Appreciate y'all. Hey man, combine's right around the corner. I'll be on vacation because my birthday is on the 3rd, and I ain't got time. My birthday is on the 3rd, and I ain't got time, man. But when I get back from Mississippi, I'll catch y'all up on what I saw. What I saw on the draft or whatnot. All right, so I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hey man, if the best way to help me, man, just go watch these damn videos, man. Just go watch these damn film sessions, man. Just watch all my videos. We can bolster these views up. I know y'all like to wait till after the draft to see who y'all player is exactly, and then watch it. But hey man, hook a brother up with some views. You know what I'm talking about? Hey man, it's Voch Lombardi. Peace, y'all. Doski Woski. The Peasky Whiskey is free. Salute.